And let's hope we're in the right live. We're in the right live too. We did it good. Hi, Linda. Hi, Deborah. Hi, Two Scooter. Hi, Jen Grill. Hi, Kate. Oh, hello.
Hello,
I better
everyone.
get in the other. Hi, Kevin.
Hello, everyone.
Let me see. I've got to get in the other one and put on the live chat because I'm in the top chat. Oh boy. Let's see. There we go. Let's see who's there. Margot, hello there, and Linda, Jane Grill. Everybody's here. So there's a few things surfacing. Hold on. Why do I hear myself echoing on my phone? Somebody's phone. My phone. There it is. Hold on. Couple of new developments. So I guess when they were watching Bryan for those 4 days in Pennsylvania, maybe more, the one thing they noticed is that they saw him outside his parents' house wearing surgical gloves a lot. And he cleaned his car, didn't miss his spot. And
Shut the door.
I know, right? Didn't miss a spot. Cleaned out that entire car. They said they saw him cleaning his car. Then the biggest thing is that he took trash and didn't put it in his parents' trash bins. He put it in the neighbor's trash bins. I know, right? And that was the trash. Listen to this, Bucky, and that was the trash that the FBI took and sent it to the FBI lab that came out with the father's DNA. If I were the neighbors, I would make those parents buy me new trash bins. Because I would be like, you put bloody trash with maybe, I don't know what on it in my bins your son did, get me new bins. I wouldn't even wheel those, I would make them come get them. Ew, what a violation. Somebody throwing like biohazard trash in your trash?
Yeah.
Gross.
No telling what he had in there.
That's disgusting.
Did he really think he was going to fool people? Like, I mean, there's other trash in their trash. Like, you could get familial DNA out of the. It seems weird that he would do that.
That is so gross. I'm sorry. That is gross.
Nasty.
That is disgusting. And then you've got the FBI going through your tray. Like, it's gross.
I know.
Ugh. That's just disgusting.
Totally.
And they lived where the houses are far apart. So he had to walk to put it in the trash. And I wonder if his neighbors even had a ring camera. Can you imagine seeing somebody putting your neighbor putting stuff in your trash?
Yeah, that doesn't look at all suspicious.
Ugh.
I mean, how strange.
Gross.
I probably would have ran out there and found out what they put in my garbage pail.
You would have, right? You would have
definitely
got. I would be like, I'm
that.
not touching that trash can.
Now, see, I'm too. I would have to know. I would be like, why did they put it in my garbage pail instead of their own?
No, and I would
Like, what are
need
you trying to hide? That's how I would. Feel.
I would need the cow birthing gloves that go up to your shoulder, to even open the trash can. I'm totally serious. Yeah, that would be a cow birthing glove job. That is disgusting. And if like he ever picked me up and I found out like I was in the car with like all of this, I would be so pissed off at this guy. You took me and you picked me up for study group in a car that's disgusting. And I was touching my face in your car.
Oh, Carolyn.
You know, and I dropped my M&Ms on your seat and I was eating them.
Ew.
You know, I would be so pissed off at this guy. But I don't think he had friends, and I don't think he was taking him to study group, and thankfully I wasn't one of his friends. But if I was his dad and I didn't know, I would be pissed.
Yeah, he rode with him that whole trip.
Yeah. Ugh.
And he didn't clean the car till he got to his parents, so.
I know.
Probably
The inside
sitting.
looked pretty clean. I mean, the outside was dirty, but that was from driving mostly. But the inside, when they showed the dash and the traffic stopped, it looked very clean. Like he did clean it. That's what I thought.
Might have wiped it down a little bit, but
I don't
he
know.
couldn't got everything.
But you think, I don't know how much blood he must have had on him, and like where did he put the knife, like, all of that stuff.
I know.
Gross.
If he was wearing all black, you wouldn't have seen the blood on him anyway. It probably would have just showed wet. I
I
don't
wonder
know.
if his seats, God bless you. I
Bless
wonder
you.
if his seats are black
I think they are.
in the car.
Look at the.
If they are black, he could get it out, wouldn't show a lot of blood. But isn't it true that they say that, because I was reading somebody said that even if you have blood on your sweatshirt and you're like, you throw it through the wash and maybe even it looks like the stain's there, but that it will keep showing up for blood. That there is saying that you can tell the presence of blood. I heard that a while ago. I don't know how true
Yeah,
that
they
is.
use those like
There's a
black
protein
lights.
in blood. Yeah.
What'd you say?
They use those black lights.
Right,
Looks
but what
for the
about if
protein
you
there.
treat it and put it through the wash? Well, somebody had said, I remember, I don't know what we were talking about, they're like, no, the sweatshirt will still come up for blood.
No, because
Yeah, it's
blood
hard to get blood
stains.
out. Yeah, it's hard to get out.
Yeah, you'd have to use peroxide. I think that's one good way of removing.
Blood gets down in the fibers, washing that won't get it out.
Not to be too crude, but we are women and we all know at the back of our drawer, our underwear drawer, we kept certain underwear from certain times.
Yes.
Yes.
We never wanted to ruin the good ones, so.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Why? Because you couldn't get it out if you had a.
Uh-huh.
That's all
It
I'm
may
saying.
not have
You don't
DNA
need that.
though.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. I bet they could.
Oh, you think it did with the stain?
Yeah.
Yes, blood will absolutely still show in forensic testing, Lenny said, if the fabric is, even if the fabric is washed. Right, that's what I thought, Lenny. That's what I heard.
There you
I
go.
wonder how many washes, Lenny, it will show in. Is it indefinite, or is there like a number of washes and then it's gonna not show anymore? Or what if you put peroxide on it? Peroxide is a good test if something, and don't ask me how I know this because I check the mail sometimes, if a substance is just red ink or it's blood.
Yeah.
You
So
can
the
put
bones.
peroxide on it, and if it bubbles, it's probably blood.
Yep.
And if it doesn't, it's probably just
biological,
marker.
yeah.
And then you can breathe a sigh of relief that the guy didn't bleed all over your mail. Okay. Anyway, you know, one time in Walmart, I'm not joking, I looked through the glass milk door, and I saw a jug of milk. It definitely had blood all over the handle.
Ugh.
All over the
Yeah.
handle. And they had it in the thing.
Wow.
They might not have realized they were bleeding when they were putting them in there.
It was just that, and I walked right by. And I'm like, who is going to buy that? I don't even think I wouldn't even touch the door. I didn't even open it. I was just like, ugh. I looked through the window. I'm like, that is definitely blood. But the one time, you want to hear this crazy time? You know the antifreeze or whatever it is in your car, there's some one that's blood red. And if
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
live in an area where it's cold and it's snowy and you ever see that on the ground, the first time I did, I would think I was like 22 years old. This is not a joke. And I went to the post office and I got out of my car and I saw this huge puddle of this, right? And I go, oh my gosh, right? What happened? And then I dropped my keys and I was freaking out because my keys fell near it. And I freaked out and I had to pick them up because I had to drive my car home and I had wipes or some baby wipes or whatever it was. And the doctor that happened to be like, I forget, he was like, he might have been the coroner too, okay? But he lived behind me. And I called him up and I said, I don't know what happened today at we live in a small town. It's the post office. But there was a pool of blood outside my car. And he goes, it's antifreeze. And I said, no, it's a pool of blood. He goes, it's antifreeze. And he goes, that's what it is. And then I didn't believe it. So my dad, you know what my dad did for me? My dad went out to this thing with a mason jar and a paper towel. And he took the paper towel with gloves on and touched it, and you could see the oil. And he said, it's oil. And I said, oh, good. I can live another day. I thought I was going to die because I was like the worst case scenario, right? Someone had this horrible bloodborne disease and my keys fell in it. And here I was, a mother of 2 new babies. And oh my gosh. Yeah, it was crazy. And I'll never forget, my dad goes like this, it's oil. It's, it's an oil-based product. It's not blood. And I said, just keep it in the mason jar with the lid in case we ever have to have it tested. That used to make me feel good. I don't know. I had a real fear of that. But it was the early 80s when everybody was really worried about like bloodborne diseases and stuff. So anyway, we got past that. But if you live in New York, you know that red stuff. And now when I see it, it doesn't even bother me because I know what it is. All right. Have you ever seen that on the snow?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh gosh. That never freaked you out, Bucky Ann?
No, because I knew what it was. My husband spilled it all on my driveway.
Oh, okay.
I yelled a lot.
Is there any freeze for the red, any freeze for the green?
What?
There's red and green, but red is for colder weather.
No, there's a special red one, Sharon.
Yeah, it's Dexacool or whatever. It's for like Toyota, like Japanese cars. A lot of
And it
them
looks like
require
blood
it.
on the snow.
It does.
Oh, yeah.
But
Also,
the,
like
I
red
didn't have to
orange.
put it in the boat.
yeah, and the only thing that was helping me was I was thinking like, wait, that's a big pool of blood, but there's no blood leaving, coming from it or going away. So even if it was an animal that got hurt, there'd be some type of a trail. You wouldn't just be in that spot bleeding like that and not have anything, right? So that was like telling me that, wait, okay, you can't get on Instagram? What do you have to get on Instagram for, Mary Beth? I mean, where are you going on Instagram?
Because Nikki
It
Beavis
is
said
bright red.
that
Red?
Maddie and Bryan were together in 2018, and there's pictures on her Instagram of them together.
Oh boy, is it really her Instagram? Because her Instagram is private, so how can you see it?
I don't know.
I know. Let me
I
guess.
can't-
Let me guess, because somebody photoshopped an image of her and Bryan, and they put it on, and it's on a fake Instagram. Hi, CIA mommy. Thank you for becoming a deputy
She would have
rambler.
been like 16 then. Like she would have been awfully young.
In what? At what year did they say?
2018. They used to date.
No, come,
She was
guys,
16.
please. He lived in Pennsylvania. We're not really falling for this crap, are we?
Ridiculous.
We're better than this. We are better than this. Do you
Like
understand there are
Oh
people
no,
that are...
there's a picture of BK on her Instagram, but none of them together.
Okay. Mickey, are you friends with her on Instagram? Because her real Instagram is private. And unless you're friends with her,
You're not seeing
you
it.
won't see it. That's number one. The second thing is, you think there was a picture of Bryan in 2018 when he was in a community college in Pennsylvania, right? And she lived in Idaho.
And was in 9th grade. She would have been.
Do you
15.
like really believe that?
No.
Do you know that there are people, Mickey, that are making all kinds of fake profiles, they're doing all kinds of Photoshop, putting people together, doing anything on TikTok to get a view. So they don't care whether it's erroneous information, because so many people will click on it, so many people will subscribe, and that's all it's about. I know, Cato, right? Please, like, don't even. It is, you have to understand, like, just think about it, like, logically.
Right.
She was 18. But in 2018, he was in the community college in Pennsylvania. He didn't know anybody out that way.
Where are they seeing this, Carolyn?
They say it's her
What is-
Instagram, but her Instagram is
Oh.
private.
No,
Just tell me,
it-
Mickey, just tell me one thing. You're not really seeing it on her Instagram, right? You're seeing it on somebody's TikTok, somebody's video or something. And what they've done, I'm going to tell you, is they've created a fake thing for you. And don't let them do that to you. Hi, Laura Gibson. Thank you for becoming a detective rambler.
Welcome. Thank you for saddling up with us.
Just think about the logistics of that. It's not even
What?
logic, you know, I mean, it's just,
Naturally.
and if this was true, do you think it would be found out now when everybody's been combing everything on Instagram? Tiddlywinks discussing what? What are they discussing? Tiddly? What are they discussing?
Hi, Tiddlywinks. I love your name.
Oh, I know who Tiddlywinks is.
Do you?
Yeah.
They're really nice, right? Like super nice.
Isn't that Tammy? Isn't that her old profile?
I don't know. I don't-
Gabby, we're not talking about Gabby. Okay, anyway, so then he was wearing these surgical gloves. He put that garbage there, cleaned his car, and put that in the neighbor's trash, which is really, really gross.
Carolyn, I know who you're talking about now.
Yeah,
It's a
I
different-
remember that. Yeah.
I'll tell you later.
Yeah. So anyway, that was that. And then there is Jennifer Coffindoffer. Now, she's a former FBI agent. She used to comment a lot with Brian Enton with the Gabby Petito case. But I have to say that I did see her post some questionable stuff lately. And I was shocked because she was posting fake profiles. And I was getting, thinking that if all people, somebody former FBI should be vetting stuff, right? So that was the first clip. But she is thinking that this Papa Roger, which I've said to you now, Papa Roger is a really weird case. And they were the inside looking out, and there was like outside looking in on Reddit, and it was Papa Roger on Facebook. And Papa Roger was posting information that wasn't known to the public. So you have to deduct that Papa Roger was either the killer, someone in law enforcement that was privy to information that was using a fake profile to put information out there, or was law enforcement that was putting information out there for a reason. Because they knew about the shoe print when nobody knew about it in the public. They knew about the sheath, which nobody knew about it. And they knew about it with other things. But wait, I'm trying to read what's happening here. Wednesday, you'll publicly get the redacted 911 call and some redacted body cam from the initial response. Will trickle out to the media. Okay, so Mickey, you're saying that Wednesday you'll publicly get the redacted 911 call. Where did you see that? Can I just ask where that's announced? Where? And some redacted body cam footage from the initial outside response will trickle in. Well, it doesn't trickle out. You have to request that stuff, okay? You request it under the Freedom of Information Act. It doesn't just trickle out. And I have requests in for that stuff. So where did you hear it's coming out on Wednesday? Just wondering about that. Just wondering. Because I didn't hear that. Are you just guessing, or is that something somebody told you somewhere? Hi, Rosalita. Everything will come out, Mickey. It's all got to come out at some point. All of the body cam, crime scene photos, all of that. And I'm confused where you heard Wednesday for the call. Where's the where is the Instagram picture? Is it on, where is it, Mickey? Is it on someone's TikTok? What am I waiting for, Tiddly? But anyway, Jennifer Coffenduffer is saying that she believes this guy could be Bryan, and his accounts were all deleted or deactivated after his arrest, but some of them were well after his arrest, like at least a day or so later. So I don't know what to think of it. It is creepy. The person knew a lot, but it could just as easily be someone who was privy in law enforcement to this stuff and just wanted to disseminate it, or someone in law enforcement. Not you. I'm agreeing with you. Oh, okay. Thank you, Tiddly. I'm asking, I really want to know from Mickey where they heard that. Tony Martini said Tiddly Winks is no. You have all the images from 4chan. Well, 4chan. Oh my gosh. 4chan and TikTok are not sources. They're sources of misinformation. You woke up for work a few hours early. You did? You woke up for work a few hours early to catch this live? Thank you, Linda. So what else did I say? Let me tell you about what he was doing.
I
What?
woke up too.
Oh, but you didn't wake up. Like you just woke up.
I woke up here.
Okay.
And Judy with an I, if you're listening, hi.
Judy with an I. What do you want to say?
I just said if she was listening, she messaged me just when I was waking up.
Oh. Okay, so here's the news on this. So Bryan thoroughly cleaned the interior and the exterior of his car and his parents' driveway, and he was also seen wearing surgical gloves multiple times before he was arrested. There's a source who spoke with the condition of anonymity, spoke to several media sources, and was briefed on observations made by investigators during 4 days of surveillance up to Kohlberger's arrest at his family's Pennsylvania home on December 30th. A surveillance team that was assigned to watch him was tasked with 2 missions, according to multiple law enforcement sources who've been speaking. So we should be glad to know that these law enforcement sources and their wives and their friends are all just like flying and throwing this information out. It's so it's reassuring, right? But anyway, so they could arrest him and get a warrant issued, tried to obtain an object that would yield DNA from. So they saw him multiple times outside the house wearing surgical gloves. And in one instance, before his arrest, they saw him leaving his family's home at 4 a.m. and putting trash bags in his neighbor's garbage bins. At that point, the agents swooped in, grabbed those garbage bags, and they recovered items that were sent to the state lab in Idaho, and that's where they found the father's DNA. Okay, so really funny that he went out at 4 a.m. to put the garbage over there. Let's see. Now, Steve Gonsalves said that he has no reason to think his daughter was the killer's target in particular. See, and that goes along with thinking that Madison and Zena were. He doesn't say about Madison, and that they considers them both his daughters, you know? But he's saying, Kaylee, nobody understands exactly why, but he was stalking them. He was hunting them. He was a person looking for an opportunity, and it just happened to be in that house, and that's hard to take. She had her phone right next to her, and she couldn't call 911. So these were just girls that went to sleep that night, and a coward, you know, a hunter, that went out, and he picked his little opponent that was girls. That's probably why the house was targeted. None of these girls deserve this. The real problem we have is we have an individual that thought it was okay to attack other human beings. That's what I'm going to focus on. He said he'd be a little bit surprised if there wasn't a clearer touch point that would suggest that he was interested in one or two of the people more than he was the others. See? I think he's hinting that it is the two girls. If you're reading between the lines like I am. He knows I want to look him in the eyes, so he didn't. He didn't give me that opportunity, the father said. He's scared to look at me in the eyes and start to understand what's about to happen to him. You know, he picked the wrong family. We're not scared of a conflict. We're not running. We're coming at him. Let's see.
Carolyn, can I ask, I missed what you said you're reading, where you're reading this from? I'm sorry.
This is Steve Gonsalves to CNN.
Okay, that's what I thought, okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and then trash recovered from the Kohlberger's family home revealed the DNA profile that linked it to a tan leather knife sheath that was found laying on the bed on the right side of Madison Mogan. So that's some interesting information. So that's pointing more towards that Zaina and Madison were the targets. Some sort of touch point, which would be that restaurant, that Mad Greek restaurant where they both worked. And since Bryan apparently told someone that the reason he made so many trips to Idaho was because the shopping was better over there, it would be interesting to know if he went and frequented the Mad Greek, and they may already know that, and we don't know it because that's just the probable cause affidavit, which is going to have very limited information. There's so much we don't know. Just like we didn't know all of this when everybody thought nobody was doing anything, there's mountains we don't know. So just understand that. And if there truly was a picture of Bryan on Maddie's Instagram, do you understand the FBI, state police have people that scour social media, scour it before any arrest is made to put any connections together? It would already be connected if it was true. Just so you know that. Because I know someone personally whose job that was in the Department of Justice, to scour social media for stuff. So, let's see here. And that's going to be before you're even made aware of anything. Affidavit is just bare bones. Yes, it is. Just the bare bone. Just enough to get the arrest, and that's it. They're not going to put out a whole bunch of stuff in it. That's... Okay. Did they say FBI followed him to the store? That was said also by an anonymous source, like about a week ago? Right, yeah. What day are we on? January 7th. Yeah, about a week ago. Didn't they say it? Maybe 5 days ago. That was said that he was stalking the girls by data from the cell phone that was recovered, and that somebody saw him go into the giant supermarket. He was under surveillance wearing those surgical gloves. So there's all that. And what did I put on? I don't want to do any thing that was on. He wore gloves. We covered that he wore gloves. He put this stuff in the neighbor's trash. He cleaned the car. And that car is going to be all gone over too. So how long, let's see. How many times can you me get an answer to this. Resistance of DNA on clothes after exposed to water for different time periods. A study on a bathtub, a pond, and a river. What about the washing machine? DNA traces on clothes of drowned bodies can prevent. Oh, that's talking about bodies. Now I want to talk about clothing. Can DNA be washed out of clothing? DNA can be transferred innocently by the laundry, even after clothes are supposed to be clean. Discovered that when undergarments are washed with sheets containing bodily fluids, the undergarment will have DNA on them. So they can have an innocent transfer of DNA through a load of laundry. So be careful who you do your laundry with. Want to get away with murder? Use a special detergent. Researchers at the University of Valencia tested oxygen bleach on blood-stained clothing for 2 hours and found that it destroyed all DNA. That's Billy, what was it? What was that guy named? Billy, I think they mean OxyClean, right? Murderers desperate to get rid of evidence might want to consider using bleach to wash away stains, but not just any bleach. When old-school chlorine-based bleach is splashed all over blood-stained clothing, even if the clothes are washed 10 times, DNA is still detected. So for criminals aspiring for perfection, here's the secret you need to know. It's the oxygen-producing detergents that will get rid of any incriminating evidence for good, it says. Researchers at the University of Valencia tested oxygen bleach on blood-stained clothing for 2 hours and found that it destroyed all DNA evidence. Forensic tests such as luminol tests rely on the ability of blood to uptake oxygen, a protein in the blood called hemoglobin responsible for transporting oxygen throughout the body reacts with the hydrogen peroxide and gives a positive test result. Chlorine-based detergents contaminate blood but leave behind intact hemoglobin. However, detergents such as Reckitt Beckster's Vanish produce oxygen bubbles which cause the blood to degrade and no longer uptake oxygen. Hopefully, anyone actually contemplating cleaning up bloodstains isn't reading this. Okay, sorry. So you need like
hydrogen peroxide, is that an oxygenated bleach?
no, you need
I'm not sure.
OxyClean.
No.
Like, but what was that guy? Billy? What was his name? Scooter?
I
Really
thought
blank.
hydrogen peroxide was too, but I'm not sure.
What about touch DNA? Let's see. Nature evidence from crime scene study. Is it possible to clean DNA off a knife? That's what this question says. Let's say. Yes, it's possible if you know what you're doing. Bleach contains sodium hypochlorite, an extremely corrosive chemical that can break the hydrogen bonds between DNA base pairs and thus degrade or denature a DNA sample. In fact, bleach is so effective that crime labs use a 10% solution, 1 part commercial bleach to 9 parts water to clean workspaces, so that old samples don't contaminate fresh evidence. Likewise, when examining ancient skeletal remains, researchers first douse the remains in diluted bleach to eliminate modern DNA from the surface of bones and teeth. So why did Knox and Celestina's bleaching gambit fail? It's difficult to swab a knife thoroughly. Dried blood can stick to the nooks and crannies in a wood handle, to the serrated edge of a blade, or become lodged in the slit between the blade and the hilt. With help from a Q-tip, it's possible to eliminate most stains, but what's not visible to the naked eye may still be visible to a microscope, and sophisticated crime labs need only about 10 cells to build a DNA profile. Bleach is perhaps the most effective DNA remover, though evidently no mythology is fail-safe. But it's not the only option. Deoxyribonuclease enzymes available at biological supply houses and certain harsh chemicals like hydrochloric acid also degrade DNA strands. It's even possible to wipe a knife clean of DNA-laden hair follicles, saliva, and white blood cells with generic soap and warm water. The drawback to the last message is that the telltale cells don't just disappear once off the knife. They linger on sponges, in drains, and even in sink traps where investigators search for trace evidence.
A couple people in chat are saying peroxide, and that's what I was wondering about, hydrogen peroxide. 'Cause I don't know for sure, but I thought it was like an oxygenated, I'm not saying that word right, bleach, so I'm not sure.
Let's
I'm curious
Will
about that,
hydrogen
too.
peroxide
Doesn't contain
remove
bleach.
DNA?
It won't
Let's
break
see.
down blood.
Let's see. Removal effect of DNA contaminated by hydrogen peroxide. Okay, so this is, we examine the ability of hydrogen peroxide plasma to remove DNA contamination to evaluate whether it's suitable forensic grade treatment under ISO blah, blah, blah. HPP treatment was compared to ethylene oxide gas treatment, which is required by that, whatever stipulation, statute that is, hold on. For the evaluation, commercial controlled DNA solution in culture cells sprinkled on petri dishes were used, and the DNA fragments, and they put the amounts, were quantified. HPP treatment was performed up to 4 times, and EOG treatment was performed once. Performing HPP treatment 3 times was as effective as EOG treatment, with all fragments decreasing to below 1 in 1,000 in DNA solution with STR and Y strings. So I guess 3 times, yeah.
So if you use it several times, it's effective.
Yeah, that's, I
Or,
think so. Toxic.
okay,
Toxic DNA damage. Let's see. Want to get away with murder. Let's see. This hydrogen peroxide induces DNA single and double strand breaks in thyroid cells and is therefore a potential mutagen for this organ. They're talking about it in cancer. Okay. Does putting peroxide on bloodstains get rid of DNA evidence? Let's see. If you've already committed the crime, by all means give it a shot, but maybe don't plan any future crimes that depend on it. Hydrogen peroxide will react chemically with the iron in hemoglobin to produce hydroxyl radicals via the Fenton reaction. Hydroxyl radicals are extremely reactive and will react with just about everything, including DNA, causing extensive oxidative damage to DNA bases. But PCR is capable of piecing together readable DNA sequences from extensively degraded DNA samples, so I wouldn't bet the farm on being able to get rid of all the DNA evidence. Plus, I hear that they now are doing PCR on DNA extracted from the air. Bad news for perps. In forensic sense, peroxide cleaning is a problem because it interferes with the common tests for the presence of blood. Also, if you don't notice the blood, then you aren't going to be looking for possible DNA sample. Fortunately, unless someone is an imaginative professional cleaner, there's usually some blood that gets missed. And of course, the science of unusual and intense cleaning is highly suspicious in and of itself.
okay.
Cigarette butts are good DNA donors, but if they're left outside overnight and there's some dew, odds are you won't find much in this sample.
A couple of years ago at my house, we had a sewer backup type problem,
Oh,
and we had to have it came into the basement, and we had to have it cleaned,
yeah.
like by a like one of those crime
Yeah, like a
scenes,
like a
And
Servpro company, right?
they did 4 rounds of disinfectant, and the main ingredient was hydrogen peroxide. And
Yeah.
I know this because we had pets, and like they had to like explain, like, don't allow the pets here or there. So yeah, that's what they used, and they told me it was because it was an antiviral, or it was a disinfectant, but it was something like an antiviral as well. So it kind of like would clean all of the issues up. So it wouldn't surprise me if that was effective with blood.
Hi, Marianne. Yeah,
Yeah.
so, not that anybody needs to, you shouldn't be.
Not that anybody's gonna need to know
Please
this,
don't,
right?
don't,
Yeah, if you're
yeah.
gonna
You
ever
shouldn't
kill
be
anybody.
committing any crimes that would cause you to need to get rid of all DNA evidence.
But they did have to do 4 treatments, so it was interesting when you said it was like effective after 3 or whatever, because I wondered why they had to do so many, but they did 4 rounds of it. It took 4 days for them to do it. They had to let it dry or whatever, and then came back.
Right.
So, interesting.
Yeah, it is. That's. Let me see what else we found out. Okay, and then the other thing is there, and I think this is old, and there's a news source out there that's reporting it as if it's new. So they quote Steve Gonsalves as saying the reason that there was so much time between the 911 call is that now again, we were told by the police, the girls still weren't outside. The 911 call was not about one of them being unconscious. We've been told that, right? Now it's coming back that they ran out of the house screaming, which we were, again, told didn't happen. That was fake news. And one was hyperventilating and was not even able to be understood well on the 911 call, and the other one was almost passing out, and that's why there's that call for the unconscious person or something. That's something that's going on. Let me see if I can find the exact. Okay, let's see if this is it. Yes. Father of one of the University of Idaho students, Kaylee, spoke out. Now they're saying this is Friday morning, so this is interesting because we were told this was fake news. Steve said in an interview with NBC Today's Show that it was overwhelming. Once police arrested Kohberger and he was extradited to Idaho to face murder charges. He says his family tracked Kohberger's flight from Pennsylvania every step of the way until it arrived in Idaho. And I'm going to quote him right now. I wish I would have been there, sitting next to him, when he was able to pull this guy off the plane. But yeah, I don't know what to compare this to because I've never experienced it, but I don't remember a case where everyone felt like everyone in my family was watching the plane and we're like naming off the states that he was touching each time you touch them in trying to guess where he was going. I don't know. He said he felt the case resonated with people because of the violent nature of the murders. And I quote him again saying, I feel like America really didn't like what happened in the story, and they were all watching and paying attention, and that's really what I was asking for. But then when it happens, it's kind of overwhelming to know. When Kohlberger appeared in court for the first time, Steve Gonsalves was hoping that the suspect would avoid him for a while. He's definitely going to have to deal with the effects of the aftermath, and he's a defendant. He's innocent till proven guilty, but you're going to have to look me in the eyes, and you're going to have to be a man. You've got to show me that you're innocent or you're guilty. And I'm running out and not going anywhere, so we're here. We're here as a family, and we have business to do. Gonsalves believes the case against Kohlberger will grow stronger once more details are eventually revealed in court. An affidavit shows police recovered a knife sheath from one of the victim's bedrooms that had a DNA sample on it. Okay, we got that now. He says, from his perspective, Gonsalves says Kohlberger appeared to be shell-shocked as he appeared in court. And I quote him saying, someone's in complete shock and not prepared for the situation that he was in. And I expect that he's going to be a very intelligent, calculated person, and he's going eventually to get to a point when he's ready to bring his game to the courtroom. But today, I saw an individual that was over his head and was overwhelmed by the situation and was a little bit surprised that he was in that spot. As for the court proceedings, Goncalves said his family has been better off once investigators placed Kohlberger into custody, saying, "We're better off knowing that we have somebody to focus on. It's hard to keep everyone from, fighting, and everyone's raw emotions are raw. It's easy to, turn and yell at each other. So I think it's good to have an outside external force to be against. And that's what we're rallying around in as a father." And then he said, let's see here. He remembered his daughter as the ultimate middle child. He said, "Kaylee was and always will be our defender and protector. She is tough and fair, the ultimate middle child. She did absolutely everything she set her mind to. She didn't hold back on love, fights, or life. Kaylee was the ultimate go-getter and constantly wanted an adventure." So so far he's not saying anything about that 911 call in here that people are saying that he said in here. That's why I'm thinking it's old stuff. She had absolutely everything going for her, absolutely everything, said her older sister Olivia. She had her job lined up. She had worked really hard for it. So that didn't tell me about that thing. So that's why I'm thinking, I don't know. Let me see if it's really... Let's see, maybe it's here. No, this is from November 30th, see? And isn't that funny? That's when they really got him in their sights. But this is a 911 call, came in at 11:58 requesting aid for an unconscious person, which was placed on one of the surviving roommates' phones, according to the police. The coroner said the victims were ambushed in their sleep, stabbed multiple times. Goncalves said he was first informed of his daughter and Madison's death by family on campus, not police. You can't imagine sending your girls to college and then they come back in and earn. You can't absorb that amount of pain and agony. Trying to see where this is, again, November 30th, and it still doesn't say that about what they're reporting that he said about the 911 call. Okay, here's another one, November 29th, Idaho. Oh, okay. It happened November 29th, I was right. Okay, it says the father of Kaylee Goncalves said in an interview Tuesday, and this was written November 29th, so Tuesday was even earlier than that, that the initial 911 call may have come in as an unconscious person because his daughter wasn't answering her phone. I know the girls reached out via texting and calling, so I can only assume by the phones being ignored so that my daughter is not going to ignore calls and texts. He also disclosed publicly for the first time that his daughter and her best friend Madison used a sorority. See, this is wrong too. Sorority designated driver service. Someone that was a what was he? An Uber driver. So, okay, maybe he said Uber, but people assume that it was somebody from the sorority that was driving them, and that's when they thought the college thing. But then they said, no, it was an Uber driver. It was Uber. So that was where that got misconstrued, to get them from the grub truck to their home. Let's see. The roommates who lived in the basement summoned friends, fearing that one of the victims had passed out. Goncalves said he was first informed, so I still don't see, let's see here. I have to assume and hope this is all part of their plan. I know that there are some really hard-working guys out there, no? He doesn't say that there. I don't know. What did anybody see this from? Everywhere I'm seeing it, it's a different date, December 12th. 911 call, unconscious person, shed some light. She had her phone right next to her. I don't know. That's a news source that I don't know. I hope they're. Let's see. Let me see if I put the word that they said in here.
Don't forget to hit the like, guys, if you would be so kind.
It keeps saying November 30th for that. Okay, here's one now. Let's see this one. Let's see when they said this. And every time I go to it, it says it in the headline. It's not there. Let's see. There's so much intrigue that nobody called anybody. And then according to Steve, let's see here. According to Steve Gonsalves, said one of the surviving roommates passed out after seeing the crime scene and the other one was hyperventilating while on the phone with 911, which might explain why the call was made about an unconscious person. Mark O'Mara, a criminal defense and civil rights attorney, weighs in. See, they're taking something I think that was said a long time ago and weighing in on it now, just to have some news. So I wouldn't put any, I don't know. That's not, it's something that's come out now, and they're saying that. Meanwhile, we were told by the PD that that was fake, that that wasn't real, that somebody ran out of the house, that the girls were found in the house and made the call in the house, according to what we're going by on the Moscow PD site. So something's crazy there. Let's see here. Hi, Paladin. Let's see. What's your question, Christine? Let me see. Does anyone know if that knife was his dad's? No, they haven't said anything about the knife, whose it was or where it was from. If anybody has any questions or anything they want me to look up to see if I can find it, let me know. Put it in the chat or call in. Hi, Kimberly, Jerome. Hi, Jeanette. So let me go back and see. I'm just going to see if there was anything. Did that person ever answer me about that 911 call where they heard that it was going to be released on Wednesday?
Not that I saw.
Are they who was that? Who was
Wasn't it? The names are on the tip.
I know. So I know. Mickey Beavis or
Yes,
something.
yes.
Yeah. Are you still there? Can you tell me where you saw that? So the furniture, we talked about this the last time. The furniture and the mattresses were moved out of the house today. Here they are. People all over are saying that there are, let me see here, huge blood stains, which they're saying they're seeing here, under there. Someone told me they thought this was a dog gate. I don't know if that's a dog gate. It looks very large for a dog gate, and if it's one of those little pens, that dog was way too big to be in one of those little like penned off areas, so not sure what that is. And like this paper bag with the tape on it, I know they take evidence out in paper bags, but I don't think they would put anything that was evidence in the back of a pickup truck like that could fly out. That would be odd. And then I saw another guy carrying out like just white, look like hefty bags of stuff. So I don't know what they were taking out of there. And then the crime scene is to be preserved by the order of the court until it's hereby ordered that all samples and evidence collected or generated by the state in the matter, including but not limited to body fluids, blood, tissues, notes, slides, photographs, or other relevant information, be held and preserved by the state for the defense. And then about the house, that the house will be locked, crime tape will remain, on-site police presence is not required, the crime scene will remain preserved until February 1st of 2023 or until further order of the court. That's that, and let's see what else. Any other news? Let's see.
It does seem odd that they are removing stuff in an exposed, like, truck like that. You know, just out in the open.
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems strange.
Now, what is this about? Somebody has a video that they're that can't be. Oh, that's stupid. We put Jeffrey Dahmer's apartment up for Bryan's. For just such misinformation, and people believe it. So, Mickey, are you still there? I'm going to look it up myself. It's probably all over the group where people are seeing this. We'll debunk something else. Okay. They said Madison. Okay, yeah. Check out this guy's Instagram post. I'm blown away. Okay. Sorry this page isn't available because I've already taken it down because it's already fake. Let's see. He followed both the girls, so he knew both of them. This is all fake. Okay, it was all taken down. I went to Bryan's, potentially, did click on the girl's Instagram. Banfield has Papa Roger on the pit tonight. Okay. And how he was in our group and may have been BK. Just saw this on Instagram. Okay. They show a picture of, I guess what's supposed to be the courthouse where the jail is below it in the basement on fire. And they're asking somebody if somebody local will check that out and see if it's real. This is getting crazy, of the stupidity that's in these groups. And then they showed a picture, this video of the fire. It's law office 2 hours ago. Apparently, is that true? There's a law office in. Oh my gosh. I doubt a random law office burning is connected. So it's a law office, and they were saying that it was reports on they're saying that the criminal law office is in fire. Okay, let's see what this says. All right, let's see. Well, it's not coming up on fire in real stuff, so I think it's fake news. This is crazy. I won't even. The problem is that the people that keep posting this crap keep bringing about people that keep spreading this crap, and then there's so many people that believe it.
My advice or opinion, believe maybe 99.
What'd you say?
I don't believe 99% of it, you know?
Yeah,
Yes.
but there's so many people that do. They'll run with anything.
Right, yeah. I could make up an account right now and say, you know, that I used to babysit him or something.
Yeah, anybody can. Okay, and so Mickey's not in that chat anymore?
No.
I'm not seeing them, Carolyn, just lately.
What happened to everybody was like yakking and then
I know, and then everyone goes so quiet. I think, you know, you get all this information and then you go quiet because you're kind of trying to process, you know, everything. So, well, that's what happens to me. And I just try to run things through my mind instead of running my mouth.
I was just looking at the affidavit because I read something on Reddit and I didn't remember reading this, but it's it's Kohlberger's I guess during the day. So on the 13th, the day of the 13th, it looks like he went to two different towns, I guess, in Idaho. He went to let me get the names of them.
Johnson, I think it was Johnson.
Yeah, Johnson, and
then he went by Genesee, right? And then there's another.
Yeah, it says here. Goodness, let's see, Clarkston or something like that.
And he turned his phone off for almost 3 hours, right?
Yeah. So, and I don't know how I missed that. I do remember reading. I don't know. Maybe I have no idea how I missed this, but nonetheless, that seems kind of odd for him.
Oh yeah, it's very odd. That's probably, we looked at that, and I'll show you. That's probably where he was digging and dumping and throwing stuff, probably. He's gone for 3 hours over there.
Yeah, it's about how far of a drive is that to the Johnston or? Reddit said it was like 72 miles. I was just gonna check maps.
Yeah, we were on the map yesterday. Let me pull that up again. I think,
Boy,
I
that
think
doesn't
Jeff
make
has
any
that
sense.
too. I think Jeff put it on the map too. Let's see.
That's a whole long way, you know. It's gonna be hard for him to explain if he doesn't know anybody in that area and, you know, what were you, I mean, I guess he could say, hey, I was just out taking a, you know, a drive on a Saturday night or whatever, but, you know, why are you turning your phone off for 3 hours? And what a bizarre thing.
Yeah, I saw that timeline too, and I was thinking about that also.
Yeah, he turned his, so, it says here, his phone pinged near Johnson, Idaho just after 5:30 that evening, and his phone stopped reporting to the network at 5:36 until 8:30.
Right.
Yeah.
Sharon, are you still there?
Yes, I am.
I'm going to send you something very important. I haven't been able to take a look at it, but could you disseminate it to the right people for me?
All right. Where are you sending that?
I'm going to send it to you on Slack.
Okay.
All right? Because I just don't have time, but I think it's something that might be important. All right? Okay. All right, now let me get back to that map of Jeff's. Let's see. Where's the map, Jeff?
So even if he turned his phone off, don't vehicles have like a tracking thing on them, like a,
Yeah, some of the newer models do. Yeah, like, you know, like if you have that OnStar or even things that you don't subscribe to. I know OnStar is a subscription, I think. You know, I think that comes in like, I don't know, the Chevy vehicles or whatever, but yeah, I know that they could have recorded.
All right,
maybe,
so I'm putting this
I
up
just don't know if that vehicle would have had that or not.
there. Okay, so I think that was just 11:13. Let's see where he put that.
Yeah, because he could have kept on driving. There's nothing saying that he stopped in Johnston or whatever.
Brian's phone
But-
is off. That was.
But that's when he switched
Wait a
it
minute,
off.
that
is
was
when
in
he
the
got-
wait. That was in the morning, and then he. Well, I've got to follow Jeff here. So. Okay, so this is. What, Jeff? Is Jeff in the chat?
I don't see him, Carolyn.
He hasn't been here.
Okay, let's see. So he went to Albertsons at 12:46. Okay, here's the Clarkston. Now, normally he would put, maybe it hasn't loaded up because he would put this on there. He might have it out of sync. Let me see. Yeah, here it is, 5:32. Okay. 5:32. Phone, so phone stops reporting. Johnson, Idaho, and it was around here. And we looked, and it was just, you know, vast farmland, but there was also nearby. I found when I looked in Johnson, Idaho, it said something about a reservoir over there, and then there were rivers. But he went to then. What did he say here? I have to talk to Jeff about this. Phone stops reporting. And did he put where it went to? Loma. phone stops. And that was in Johnson, and I think the time he went the other place was when, after the murders, and you know what? I was right. He went on that Walenta Drive, and that was that really residential street we went on long ago. And I said, I bet you he came, whoever did this came up over here, and he could have.
That back road, yeah.
Yeah, and that's the one. That was the Walenta, but and then that led to Pullman out through there. But let me see here. I think when he was going. Path of travel, yeah, 4:45 to 5:26. Elantra turned on. Bryan left. Travel to Moscow. Pullman. That's when he was going like somewhere to those other things on his way home after the murders, because he didn't just go straight home. Not at all. He, let's see. Okay. I just had I have here.
It looked like there was a point on the map a little bit to the east there. If you zoom out just one more time.
Okay. Hold on, it's not letting me do that yet. It's giving me an hourglass, so I have to wait a second.
Oh, yeah. This is a really nice tool that he created for us.
Mm-hmm, yeah. Let's see.
Very nice.
Okay, there we go. So let's see where was I. Had
Oop.
some-
That was really far.
Oh,
Let's see.
I wish he was here because,
Yeah, there it is, Carolyn. You see it says 11/13/536 phone stops reporting. It's right above it where it
yeah,
says
right
that
here, yeah.
stuff store. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where we saw these national forests, there's rivers, there's like so much stuff around here. What was he doing over here? This San Joe was that St. Joe National Forest, Lolo National
Selway
Forest?
Wilderness. Yeah.
Yeah, I
And there's
mean,
no, it's not even to say that he stopped there. That's just where the phone stopped reporting. I mean, he could literally have driven another hour in, you know, whatever, in some other direction.
oh yeah, yeah.
You know? But it seems it looks pretty rural. I mean,
Oh yeah.
a national forest,
And
a
here's like
wilderness
Round Lake,
area.
there's lots of bodies of water as well
Yeah.
in here, yeah.
But if his car had some kind of tracking on it, they might know and we don't. I don't
How far
know.
he went.
Yeah. Cause that's a long time.
The Reddit poster said it was like 70 miles from his home. I don't know if that's.
I would say that's, let me see, that's probably right. I mean,
mm.
You know, and they'll probably also look to see if his cell phone ever did that route before, because most of the time, you know, let's just say he liked to go walking or running or something in that area, you know, they would probably want to look for a pattern, like, has he ever been over there before? to sort of explain it away, because it looks circumstantial to me, but pretty suspicious if he's never been there, right? Or he doesn't go there often.
Okay, so it says Pierce, Idaho. Where I don't know why he's got that at Pierce, Idaho. I don't think that's Pierce. What is this? Give me the location of that. Johnson, Idaho. Okay, I don't know why. Let's see. Well, Johnson, Idaho to Pullman, Washington is 101.3 miles. 2 hours and 1 minute.
That's how long it would have taken him. Is that right?
That's what it's saying right here. Yeah, right here. I'll pull it over there. Here's Lewiston, because he was there too. And
Did he go home after Lewiston, or did he kind of did it? I don't
it
think
did
it said that
mention.
he-
Let me go back to the
Yeah.
affidavit. It did
I don't think
mention.
it did.
Okay.
I don't know about you, but I don't drive 2 hours for no reason. No.
Why did that go there? That's not what we're looking for.
I was trying to see too what time was sunset, because that would also be interesting. It was probably getting dark by 5:30 when he headed that way. Let's see. What time was
Hold on.
sunset?
Yeah, he was back
Where the
at
heck is
the house, not his house, the crime scene at what time?
5:36. Hold on. Where the heck is my affidavit? Non-dissemination order. Oh, here it is. Okay. Whew. Why are there so many open? Only did one open. Okay. So November 13th. Okay, here it is. At 12:46, that's when he went in Clarkston, Washington. That was the Albertsons.
Yeah.
Okay,
the-
but then it was
the
after
Joe
that. It
Coffey.
said approximately 5:32 to 5:36, it utilized resources that provided coverage to Johnson, Idaho. And then the phone stopped reporting at 5:36 to 8:30. And the hours immediately following. Phone traveled in the hours. Phone being in the area that the phone traveled in. But they don't say where it picked up. Like, where was it at 8:30 when it started again? Where was it?
Yeah, it does not say, does it?
They don't say that. They just say it stopped reporting to the network from approximately 5:36 to 8:30.
Well, when did it pick him up returning to the house?
That's what I mean. They don't tell us.
They don't say. Yeah, they don't specify, I don't think.
Nope.
Okay,
They just say phone being
And
in
then-
that area traveled in the hours following the suspected time of the homicides. So they just put him in Johnson, Idaho, and then say the
And
phone
this-
stopped responding for
this-
3 hours.
Yeah.
I don't know where I was thinking, I heard like 9 AM or something. You know, he was back at the house, but I must have been wrong on that.
So if it was, they never told us also that he went back to the house after Albertsons. Remember, they said he left Albertsons at 1:04. Never said he went back to the house. he might have traveled all the way to Johnson from there, or
Yeah.
a roundabout way, and then turn the phone off at 5:36 in Johnson.
Hmm.
And the sun set at 4:16 in the afternoon that day. So it was already dark, right, by the time he's
Yeah,
out there at 5:30.
right. It's a pitch dark, probably.
Yeah, real dark.
So what the heck? What is in Johnson, Idaho? What is in Johnson, Idaho?
I didn't quite understand the next sentence of the report either. This kind of threw me. It said, Kohberger's phone then connected to a cell tower servicing. It didn't say that. Sorry. Kohberger's phone connected to a cell tower servicing the Moscow area on the 14th of November. But investigators don't believe the phone was in Moscow.
Yes, and that's going to bite them so bad.
Well, does
Yeah.
that
I
even-
think that's
what
going
does
to
that
bite
mean?
them so bad. And the reason I think that they said they don't believe he was there was because they probably, with those cameras, they kept checking the phone with the cameras and showing the phone was moving. Well,
Yeah.
it probably shows his phone was in Moscow, but his car wasn't moving.
Oh.
And I think that's what they saw. So they just go, oh, so we don't think he was there. But you know what the defense is going to do with that, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
so
agree.
you don't think he
I
was
don't know
there
why
because
they
it
do
doesn't
that.
fit your narrative, and you can't. It's going to show that your phone data is not reliable. So that's
Exactly.
why he's not there, right? Okay.
They're gonna. So why would they include that in this report? It doesn't seem to make any.
Yeah.
I almost think that they should have kept that quiet. I mean, it serves of no value.
Well, the defense is going to be privy to the report. They're going to see that. You
Yeah,
know?
but let them discover that.
Mm.
It's a Brady violation is only if you don't provide it to them. You can provide it to them, but you don't have to call it out in the.
Yeah,
19-page
that's
affidavit.
going to be
Seems
something the
strange.
defense is going to be all over that. Oh, your great phone data, but you don't even
Yeah.
trust it. You say his phone was there, but you don't believe he was there. Okay.
Hmm.
And there's no more. There's nothing else around that either. It's not like they'd explained why they thought that, or, did the phone, where did the phone go next? Like,
Right.
it doesn't. It seems strange that they would just leave that one
Mm-hmm.
odd sentence in there. I don't see what the purpose of that was. And like you said, Carolina, it's almost counterintuitive. It gives the defense a little bit of ammunition for sure.
Yeah. Because why wouldn't they think, okay, well, maybe he didn't take his car, maybe he got an Uber there, right?
Right. I mean, there's other ways to get places. I mean,
But it's like they knew where he, like, I think it was even more than just not seeing the car move. They, I don't know.
had surveillance,
Just
perhaps, maybe
something,
showing.
just something doesn't fit that they would say they don't believe he was there. Like, why wouldn't they say he might have been there, but not using his own car,
Right.
right? Maybe it
Why
took
say it
some,
at all?
maybe he
I mean-
rode with somebody, maybe whatever. Unless they can't put that phone moving anywhere, like, where's
Well, and
the...
it would also be, if, maybe his phone was, maybe someone took his phone, or, it just
Yeah.
gives the defense a whole lot of ammunition to poke holes and say, well, if you don't know why his phone pinged in Moscow on the 14th, well, how do we know he was driving around Johnson, Idaho at 8:30, you know what I mean, or 5:30 or whatever it is? It just seems, I don't get it.
Right,
I
right.
don't think
Get it at
having you doubt on that, doesn't it?
Yeah. When I read it, I was like, what does that mean? And I just kind of blew past it because I was so in awe of the other data. But now that I'm kind of reading through it more slowly, I'm like, boy, that seems like a strange thing to state.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. see what else.
Okay, so I'm just looking at that sentence again. It says, the one about him. Kohlberger's phone connected to a cell tower servicing Moscow area on the 14th of November, but investigators don't believe the phone was in Moscow at that time, period. Next sentence. The phone didn't connect to any towers thereafter?
Is that, let me see, the phone?
The phone, like, are they saying the phone didn't
Oh,
connect to any
wait.
towers in Moscow? Or,
Okay, the
At all.
8458 phone has not connected to any towers that provide service to Moscow since that date. So,
Oh.
okay, so since November 14th, it has not been anywhere near Moscow.
okay.
So
that's
he
been-
just,
okay.
so that would say that he stayed the freak away from there with his phone, or he turned it off every time he was there.
Yeah.
That he never showed himself with that phone in that area.
That's interesting too.
Well, did he get a different phone? I don't know.
I don't know, where did that phone, was it back? No, I think they caught it back after in other places, didn't they catch it somewhere? Isn't that how they found him in Loma, Colorado?
Yeah, I was just gonna look at that too, because
Yeah. Yes, the 845 trace, yeah, on the 845 to determine if he stalked. Okay, that was the, no, hold on. So where's anything after that? Albertsons. Where's the one from Loma? On December 27th. Trash.
I think maybe his license plate got picked up by a license plate reader.
Oh, right, it was a license plate reader, so
Yeah.
next utilized. So is that phone number gone?
Yeah, I'm trying to see if they made mention of the phone after that last sentence about it not connecting to any towers in Moscow again. I don't know if they.
You have a message.
Okay. His area code would be 570. I sent you something, Sharon. I don't see something. Oh, now I see it. Never mind. Okay. All right, let me look at something here. So it would be. So what would it be? Let me just see one thing here. Is the number 8458. Huh.
You know, for him to go through that Loma, Colorado, that they didn't take the most direct route to Pennsylvania.
Right.
Based on Google Maps.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe, I mean, there may have been a reason they wanted to go the direction they did, but it certainly wasn't the most direct route. And it said that he was picked up in Loma on, what was the date? The 13th of December, and then on the 15th was when he got pulled over in Indiana. So, let's see if that makes sense. Let's see.
Let's see if I can find the last one. Just going over the time. So 1:45 a.m. Zena and Ethan return home. 1:56 a.m. Kaylee and Madison return home. 2:47 is when phone belonging to the suspect Bryan Kohberger stops connecting to the cell phone network in Pullman, Washington. 2:47. Isn't that also the very same time that the girls are calling Jack Decor?
I thought that was around that time, now that you mention it.
That's interesting. They called, okay, let's see here. They called between 2:26 and 2:44.
Okay.
Okay, and then he's going right after that. 2:44, then 2:47, he's on his way.
Okay.
And
So literally
2:53.
3 minutes later.
Yeah, 2:53, he's entering the highway between Pullman and Moscow. The camera gets him. 3:29. See, it's only a 10-minute drive when he's going, like when he leaves at 9 in the morning that next day.
Yeah.
He's there right away. He was driving around somewhere because he left at 2:47. His phone stops. At 2:53, he's seen entering the highway between Pullman and Moscow. 3:29, that's already at 37 minutes. At that time, he's making 3 passes by the house. So where did he go prior to that? He didn't just do a straight run from his apartment to the house.
Yeah, what did the affidavit say that, what it was at 2:47 he did what?
2:47, his phone is turned off, stops connecting with the towers.
Oh, okay,
At
okay.
2:53, they catch him on the video with the car getting on that highway from Pullman to Moscow. But that only takes, like, what he did it the next morning at 9.
Yeah.
He was at the house at 9:12.
Oh, but you know what? Maybe he didn't leave right at 2:47, right? Because it just doesn't
No,
show
no,
his
but they
phone.
caught him in the camera at 2:53.
Oh, okay, so he did.
Yeah,
so
and he's
it wasn't him
2:53.
sitting
He's
at
on that
home.
highway, but it's 3:29, which is like 36 minutes.
Mhm.
So is
And
he just sitting there
he's
thinking,
just
"Should I do
starting
this?"
to make his first pass by the house.
Okay.
So is he just sitting around in his car debating, like, should
So
I
what
go?
did he do? Did he pick up something somewhere? Did he have something stashed somewhere? What was he doing? Did he stop at a bar? Did he stop somewhere? Like, where? What was he doing?
You would think that he
Yeah.
wouldn't want to get recorded. You know what I mean? Like, you would think he would try to be low profile. So I don't think he's going to go through a drive-through and get a coffee or
Yeah, well, what was he
stop at a
doing?
convenience store.
What was he doing? 4 a.m., then Zainab gets that DoorDash. 4:04, the video shows that Elantra returning for a 4th time, doing a 3-point turn. And so he's got to do the 3-point turn. He's got to park the car again, and he's got to get in the house. At 4:12, Zaina's on the TikTok app.
Then at 4:17, the dog's barking. The
4:17, security camera nearby picks up distorted audio, what sounds like a whimper, a loud thud, dog heard barking numerous times. Roommate opens her bedroom door, sees a man with bushy eyebrows clad in black clothing. The man walks past her towards a sliding glass door. She goes back into her room, locks the door, and it's unclear what she does for the next several hours. The white Elantra, 4:20 a.m., is seen leaving the neighborhood at a high rate of speed. And it doesn't connect again to the network until 4:48, but it's south of Moscow near Blaine, Idaho. It doesn't go right back towards Pullman. So I'm wondering, after traveling in the
another
area
interesting
south,
thing.
after traveling in the area south, so that near Blaine, then it gets back in Pullman at 5:30. So that was an hour and 10 minutes from when he left to when he returned back to his apartment. And that's a 10-minute drive normally, 12-minute drive.
Mm.
Because
You
when,
know, it's kind of, I would think if you had just committed, you know, you just committed 4 murders, you're dirty, you're bloody. It's kind of interesting that he doesn't go directly home.
that's
you know,
interesting.
to a
It's almost
safe
like,
spot.
did he rent a hotel room to clean up in or something like, you know?
That's what I'm
isn't
thinking.
that
Like,
weird?
what did he? Yeah, like
Yeah, but
was
then
going
it
on
says, or go to a rest stop if they have showers. You know, they have the best showers at rest stops.
or a creek, or I mean, there's a reason, right? Because you think your natural instinct is, I just want to go home, right? Like when anything, you know, you would think that he would just want to get out of that car and get into a protected location where he knew that, you know, he was quote unquote safe. you know,
Because
so
it-
but for him to take this drive to Blaine
yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah. Because
It
if you're
seems-
just driving around, you're taking more risk of getting
Absolutely.
up.
Especially
Yeah.
since he's been pulled over. How many times does this guy
Yeah.
have gotten pulled? Like, it seems like they do a lot of, you know,
Yeah,
pull them
and
over
the next
a lot.
morning,
so
he makes it, you know, there in 12 minutes.
20 minutes?
What?
Was it 12 minutes?
Yeah,
Between-
the next morning when he left his house at 9 o'clock. He was in Moscow at 9:12, stayed until 9:21, and was back home shortly after 9:30.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very short drive, but the night of the murders, going there and getting back, he took a detour somewhere.
So maybe he did. You know what? Maybe he did stash some clothes somewhere or something. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I think it's the weapon, the knife.
Well, what the
Yeah.
hell did he do for 3 hours the next day?
At the National Forest, in the pitch
Oh.
black. Yeah.
Really? Dug a hole? Buried something?
But you know, even if he wanted to change his clothes or whatever, just go home. Like, why are you driving to?
Maybe he
Anywhere.
didn't want to track anything in.
Yeah,
Maybe
that's-
he had like a wash kit. Maybe he went into like some land,
Uh,
took all of
yeah.
his clothes off,
Yeah.
threw everything away, had clean
burned
clothes
them right
to
there.
change.
Maybe. You know what? That could actually have happened. He could
Yeah.
have like just disposed of his clothes, burned them, or
What?
you know,
Wiped
something
himself completely down with those like big wipes or something that you could take a bath in the hospital.
Yeah.
Um,
Those are pretty nice, actually.
maybe he had a covering. Maybe he had a covering all over his seat, like a
that's
You
what
know,
I'm
like
thinking,
a-
yeah,
like a tarp.
like a tarp. Yeah.
Yeah, and all over the floor of his car, so that he would just take that tarp, take everything, gone.
And done with it. And who's gonna? Yeah. Because I'm thinking, why is he going to that? Why is he driving around after it? Right? Like, why doesn't he just go home? I think he's probably doing something like this, where he's trying to get rid of
Take
he doesn't
everything
wanna
off,
track
so he's not
blood
going to
and-
track any
right.
DNA into his house from
nothing into
them.
his house. Yep.
And I think his nerves are jangled completely after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's doing something like that, though. I do think, and he may have had some, you know, water and wipes in his car. I mean, he could have. I would hope that if this was pre-planned, then maybe he thought that to do something like that. It's.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably in the country, right? I mean, I'm assuming that it's rural. This where he went, Blaine or whatever. Where is that?
Blaine, Idaho.
Blaine or
Let's see.
See, was Blaine in Washington? Because I've been to Blaine,
No,
Washington.
Blaine, Idaho, right?
Idaho. I don't know that one.
it'll be interesting to see if he staked these places out beforehand too. Like if he went to these areas, you know, days before the.
Blaine, Idaho is an unincorporated community in Lauder County. Let's see. What is Blaine known for? Blaine hosts Wagon Days, Trailing of Sheep Festival, Sun Valley Harvest Festival, and the Sun Valley for the Arts and Wine Auction.
I wonder how much snow they've had since he killed them. And rain. Because that would help whatever he did in the woods.
If they had what?
If there was a lot of snow or a lot of rain,
Oh,
they talk about the atmospheric river. I don't know if it made it to Idaho. I don't think so. But possible. But if he buried something, you know, just walking in the woods in those shoes he wore, I'll bet you those shoes are buried too.
lakefront property in Blaine, so I guess there's a lake.
Someday they'll put
And
up
look at the
subdivision
knife
on their
too, and
shoes.
I don't think he would have kept the knife. You never know, but
Oh no, I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Mm-mm.
Blaine, Idaho seems to be a very upscale area. Houses, I'm looking at them, 3,950,000, 2,600,000. Um,
Must be nice.
yeah. $27 million.
27 million for a home?
Yeah, Blaine, Idaho, lakefront property, waterfront property, house for sale. The epitome of elegant mountain living can be found. Here, this is 27 million in Blaine.
Now I gotta go to the YouTube.
Yeah, I see it now. That's where Sun Valley ski is. It's kind of like Aspen, like a real,
Yeah, upscale.
ski community. It's going to be a lot of
That was like
you
Joe
know.
Crawford stairs.
rich type people.
Right.
Why would he go there? But I mean, I don't think he was going skiing.
Can you imagine
Wow.
if one of these, if he knew somebody in real estate and somebody had a lockbox for an empty house and he went there and he showered?
I was thinking maybe there was an abandoned house, but I don't think in this area. Now that
Not
we look at it.
abandoned,
I was
but wait,
kinda
if he
thinking
knew
the same
somebody
thing.
in real estate or knew of something and there's a lockbox on a house that's not used,
Oh, look at that. Isn't
you could
that
go
really
somewhere
awesome?
and go take a shower and clean up
That's a
somewhere if you knew of
log home.
somewhere.
That's a log home. Look at that. Posting
Yeah.
me. Wow. That's beautiful. That might be my favorite house.
I'm gonna
so
see if
far.
is there a rest stop near there maybe? Because that's what I'm, like a public bath, like a rest, like ones they have on the highways.
Mm-mm.
But there would
Blaine
be
County,
cameras there.
Idaho, rural properties, ranches, hunting land, farm ranches.
Wow.
He could have also went into like a barn. I mean, if if they have horses in that, he could have went to an outbuilding that had, running water to it or something like that.
I
and
wonder
used it.
what he was, if he had been, he
I
has
was
only
thinking
been out there for a
affordable.
few months. Like, did he go to Blaine for something?
You gotta find us something more affordable.
I don't think he's a skier. I don't remember. I mean, I don't think I heard of anybody saying that he skied, because that might be a reason he would go there, since the Sun Valley is there, the resort.
The top 10 attractions in Blaine County. Sun Valley Resort, yeah. Bald Mountain, Craters of the Moon National Monument, Sawtooth Botanical Garden, Dollar Mountain, Redfish Outlet Lake, Ketchum
Outlet
Cemetery, Wood River Trail, Ketchum Sun Valley Heritage and Ski Museum, Galena Summit, Adams Gulch Loop, Pettit Lake, Wood River Valley, Wagon Museum, Shooting Center, Theater, Ice Caves, Community Library, Yellowstone National Park.
Get out. Really?
That's what it's saying here. I don't know.
I think he went to Yellowstone. But they would know if he went to Yellowstone, wouldn't they?
Why is it saying Blaine County? Things to do.
No wonder it's so expensive, those houses right next to Yellowstone.
It's saying
Although if
Jackson
that
Lake,
volcano blows, it's the last thing we'll ever hear.
Idaho Falls, Morning Glory Pool, Upper Geyser Basin, Lower Geyser Basin, Jenny Lake Boating,
Wow.
Black Sand Basin, Firehole River.
I wonder how far those are from Moscow.
Yeah, I'm looking at the map. It looks like you would. I mean, it's not the national park. It's not like a stone's throw away. You would. It's probably it's driving distance, so they might be just saying these are things you could do in the
Right, yeah.
area.
Right.
Let me see something.
I'll bet there's a lot of
Blaine,
campgrounds.
Idaho,
Like, there's a lot. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
mountainous.
there
It's
are.
Washington.
Some of them aren't open at this time of year, but there's nobody to stop you from going in one of them.
nobody. Yeah.
If there
exactly.
wasn't any snow, he could have gone into one of them.
Wait,
And gotten rid
something
of it.
has to be wrong.
That's where I'd go.
Something can't be right with that thing, with that affidavit.
What do you mean, Carolyn?
How far away is that? That's like
Yeah,
a pretty
I'm
good
just looking
distance,
at
right?
that. That cannot
Yeah.
be Blaine, Idaho. It's 8
Oh,
hours
God.
away from Pullman, Washington.
Exactly. I'm like, there's no way that he drove that in.
The border? Is it near the border?
Something's wrong.
It's
Is Blaine near the Canadian border?
I'll show you where. Hold on, I just had it. Where did I just put it? Wait a minute. I just put it somewhere. Where's my affidavit?
The interest, no, Blaine, Washington is closer to the west coast than, it's on the other side of the mountains from. From where they're
Something's
at.
wrong.
They're near Spokane.
Doesn't it say Blaine in there?
I'm checking again.
Oh,
Let me look here.
wow.
Um, 4 a.m.
Wait. He was in Pullman
I'm looking.
and went to Moscow. Right?
Mm-hmm.
It
Yeah.
was Moscow, like just to the
That's
right.
like 10
of
minutes away.
Pullman.
To the east. Yeah, to the east and I think south.
Yeah. Okay.
And it says the phone was near Blaine, Idaho, yeah, which is south of Moscow.
Mm-hmm. It's right along the border. He drove right along the border, if that's the way he went. It's a long way to go.
How is Blaine spelled in the report? Is it Blaine?
I'm trying to find this here. Hold on a minute. Where is he?
Okay.
Okay. It's approximately.
Blaine what? There's Blaine, Washington, but that's straight up.
B-L-A-I-N-E.
What page is it on? Does anybody know what page it's on?
Yeah, I know. I'm trying.
Okay. It's B-L-A-I-N-E.
And it's Idaho or not Washington, right? It is Idaho.
Idaho, Washington is, there's a Blaine, Washington too, but it's not the same.
$244, $253. This is when he's leaving. Okay. At
Oh,
5:25.
we were looking at Blaine County, I think.
I put
that's where
Blaine,
the-
Idaho, though.
Yeah, I did too, and it took me to Blaine County. That's where that Sun Valley Resort is. This Blaine, Idaho is 9.2, 8.9, like 20 miles
Blaine's only 20 miles from Pullman?
from Moscow. Because he left from the
Yeah,
house in
Pullman and
Moscow.
Moscow are right side by side. And Blaine to be 20 miles, that's a, really?
Not
So
to
why
be
does it keep saying Blaine County?
487 miles here. what Carolyn has.
Blaine, Idaho. Okay, so Blaine,
Yeah,
Idaho.
Moscow.
Here's Genesee.
Google.
I said
Yeah,
Moscow.
Google.
No, I know you did. I know
Oh.
you.
Genesee.
Okay,
That's where he went to.
okay.
It's named for the Genesee region of western New York in Lauder County.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see.
955 at the 2010 census.
But
It's a
what-
9-mile trip, 19 minutes. There's 2 routes that you could go. One is 19 minutes, the other one is 21 minutes, and that's Moscow to Blaine, Idaho.
Why am I not finding? I just want to see where he went with this.
Other cities.
Google Maps was continuously putting me into Blaine County. I
Yeah.
went onto Microsoft Bing, and it took me to Blaine, Idaho, the true
Mata.
Blaine, Idaho.
But you know, even Moscow's in this county. It must be a county seat is Moscow, in fact. So other communities, it's in the same county. And yet, how far away did they say it was? Like 300 miles.
Blaine County is, but not Blaine. Blaine County, Idaho is where the fancy.
Oh, finally I found it.
Resort is.
Okay, all right, hold on. So at
Got it?
approximately 4:48, at which time it utilized cellular resources that provided coverage to Idaho State Highway 95 south of Moscow, near Blaine, Idaho, and north of Genesee.
Okay.
So he turned it on State Highway 95 near Blaine, Idaho. And between 4:50 and 5:26, it utilizes services that are consistent with the phone traveling south to Genesee, then traveling west towards Uniontown, and then north back into Pullman.
Okay.
Yeah, and that Genesee is not too far from that Lewiston where he went to get the Albertsons grocery store. It's kind of in that general area, so if you have it on the maps, you can see that.
Yeah, I like to go to, let me see here. Genesee.
Lewiston.
It's in Genesee. It's a community nestled in fertile rolling hills and prairie of Idaho's Palouse County, halfway between Moscow and Lewiston.
He's really into that Lewiston area where that that's where the Albertson was, right? The grocery market that he went to.
Yeah.
Oh,
So something's pulling him there. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like, why is
yeah.
he?
what's the cashier look like? That's what's pulling them there.
Why is he so interested in
The
that
best
area?
hotels in Genesee. Deals from $66 a night.
Hmm. Yeah, so he gets on that road. What is that? 90? What is that? 95? Is that what it's called? Highway 95.
Yeah.
It travels south rather than just going home.
Indeed.
Right.
You know-
South towards Genesee, and then let's say he travels. Back to Kohlberger's residence. So it turns on again between 4:50 a.m. and 5:26 a.m. Phone utilizes cellular resources that are consistent with the phone traveling south on Idaho State Highway 95 to Genesee, then west towards Uniontown, then north back into Pullman.
See where Uniontown is. Uniontown, Idaho,
Yeah.
I would think.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's sort of at the same. It's actually Uniontown, Washington, and it's
You sure?
sort of,
It says what?
yeah.
Really? Because did it say Washington in there?
It didn't say. It just said Uniontown, as if we would know.
No, it says Uniontown, Idaho.
Maybe I typed in Uniontown, Idaho, and it brought me to Uniontown, Washington, which is literally like, let me see, from Genesee. Let me see. It's 14 miles from Genesee to Uniontown, Washington, but I'm not finding a Uniontown, Idaho. But I'm looking at Bing Maps, so let me try Google Map. Oh, it'd be fantastic if they made that error. They can't even
Okay,
get their
so
states right.
it is Lewiston.
Union.
Oh, look, when Lewiston, there's a big river or whatever there. Look at that, as soon as I just click on that.
Oh. Is it Uniontown or Ton?
It is Uniontown, Idaho.
P-O-W-N, right? Okay.
P-O-W-N. Pullman is here, Washington. See how it's Pullman to Moscow. And then Genesee. So it says he went Genesee,
Again,
then west
Google
towards
Maps is taking me to
Uniontown,
Uniontown,
and then
Uniontown,
north
Washington.
to Genesee, right? And then to Uniontown, Idaho. And then north, back into Pullman, Washington. So here, what is he doing to traveling west? From
Now there is a road called Uniontown Road that goes from Genesee to Uniontown, Washington. So there is a road called Uniontown Road where he would travel west.
No, it's right here. No,
Let me
that's
see.
Washington. Hold on a minute.
It's Washington.
They made a
I
mistake.
know.
They made a
They
mistake.
made a mistake. Great.
Is
Yeah.
that the affidavit?
They had to make a mistake. Yeah, it's not Washington. It's not Idaho. It's
It's right over the border.
Washington.
Okay.
They traveled west towards
And it doesn't say Uniontown Road either. It just says Uniontown. It doesn't.
and then north towards Pullman.
Oh, okay.
Somebody didn't edit their document
Towards Pullman.
or have somebody read over it carefully. That's a bad mistake, actually.
Is that Jeff? Who's here? Oh, I thought Jeff was here.
No,
Let me see.
that's just a silly error, and that's
Oh.
another thing the defense can just pounce on. Like, you don't even,
Yeah,
No, I don't see anybody.
but you think you would have somebody, looking at this. That
like, oh my gosh, yeah, you would think that this would have been read by multiple people. That kills me.
And didn't they even make a little map of it? Or is this
They did. And it was kind of hard to see in the, it was really dark, that map. At least the two maps that were in
traveling
the.
west towards Uniontown and back towards Pullman at approximately 5:30. The phone is utilizing resources that provide coverage to Pullman. So he gets back at 5:30 a.m. after he does that little trip to his residence and traveling back towards his residence.
So that's an hour out, more than an hour after he left the house. The
Yeah.
murder.
Mm-hmm. For a 10-minute drive, and
He's driving around.
Yeah, because at 9 a.m. he goes traveling to Moscow, and he's there at the residence at 9:12. So it's just a 12-minute drive,
Oh.
and he spent an hour to get home, more than an hour and 10 minutes. He left at 4:20. He should have, if he went straight home, he would have been home 12 minutes later.
Yeah, so there's a reason
So
for
it's
that.
an hour.
Again, interesting.
Yeah, spent an hour extra.
Oh, there's Walla Walla. Look at that. I kind of wondered where that was.
Oh, why would he go towards what is over there?
I just think it's a bad idea that he did all that. But if he was doing it to remove his clothing or get rid of evidence so he didn't bring it back to his house, I could see that. But I don't know. If I just killed 4 people, I'd be freaking. I just want to go home, I think. But you know,
No, he couldn't go straight home. Too many people might see him.
oh, you know what? That's true. He may have just wanted to.
Maybe he had an alibi to be over here or something. That's what I'm saying. Did he have a?
It'll be interesting to see if he's ever been in these areas before, right? Because past behavior predicts future behavior or whatever. So it would be interesting to see. I'm sure they're going to do that. I hope they do.
So there's this river, whatever this river is, in Lewiston.
What was the temperature that night? Was it chilly? Let me see what the temperature
Washington
was.
Beach, over Old Clarkston, Washington Beach.
There's a beach.
Mm-hmm. And look, falls. There's falls over there too, in Lewiston.
Yeah.
That's a scary bridge.
Doesn't look like a beach to me. It's not like
Well, look at the falls. See, there's falls there, so.
it's beautiful, but I don't understand why they put these houses in such clusters. Oh, a trestle. Look at that. Cool. Dinosaur.
Oh, that river looks scary.
Sure does.
Look at that barge. River Railroad Bridge. Yee.
Pretty cool. Goes up and down.
I wouldn't want to magnet fish off that thing.
So it's 28 degrees that night
Okay.
on November the 13th. That's,
Wow,
not
that looks
chilling, but-
scary. Look at that body of water there.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Bet you
Reminds me of
that
Ohio.
knife is over there somewhere.
That's a nice area, though. It's pretty.
Yeah, it's pretty. I like the mountains. I love them, and to have water
Same here,
across the
Shannon.
mountain, that's just a big plus.
Yeah.
Are those the Rockies?
I'd love to be able to go out there.
You could. I'll send you magnet fishing out there
Well, you know
Oh,
what?
right.
Yeah,
for the
right.
channel.
Yeah.
Wait, you'll do what?
I'll send you magnet fishing out there for the channel.
Oh, I'll do it.
Okay. I
Look
want
at
to
that.
have lunch at Zany's. What do you think? Sounds like a fun place.
Yeah, it does.
Mm. Oh, we can go there. Ride the Ferris wheel.
Oh, I like that right there. The Ferris wheel and
I thought
Yeah.
that said the stalker. Does that say the stinker?
Um,
There's a Super 8 over there.
Do you have to show your ID to get a hotel room?
yes. Oh, you think
Winco.
they put it down there? I mean, there's sure are a lot of them. Oh, there's Sinclair Gas. Where's
I
there-
know, I love
There
seeing
he
that,
is.
Sharon.
There he is.
Why do you like Sinclair glass? Gas.
Because,
No,
Why?
there's a dinosaur under the sign.
I don't know Sinclair.
yeah, it used to be in our area, but it's not here anymore, around me anyway. But I love seeing it, like on vacation
I
and.
do too. I always
You
take
do?
a picture when I see it. Yeah. Good lobster. No, when we're in Vegas.
Yeah, it's fun, I get excited. Sinclair!
Nice.
Waffle World or something. Wendy's. Hampton Inn, Lewiston. Burger King. Sonic Drive-Thru.
The Warriors play.
Bravo's. Ross Dress for Less. Red Bento Sushi. Jimmy John's.
Oh,
Getting me hungry here.
I know. Scooter and I are gonna go out there,
Yes,
but we're gonna be going out to all these places too.
You and
oh,
Scooter-
definitely.
You and Sharon doing the
Yeah.
magnet fishing. That would be fun.
It will be.
Sharon, get the magnet.
Go ahead, crawl out on that bridge. Jimmy did
Holiday
it.
Inn.
Yeah, Jimmy did it and look what happened.
I know, right?
Little consignment shop.
Oh, goody.
Kids meals.
Oh, look at, that's pretty.
Bumper crop coffee.
Wait, what kind of place was that? Go back one, just one. No, wrong. direction.
Which one?
I
Is
thought
it-
it was an In and Out.
Oh no, it's not In and Out. No, I would see that. It was a
It's on our taxes is,
Kodiak
Sonic.
Coffee,
yeah, I don't do coffee.
Panda Express, Murray Insurance, Sylvan Furniture, Mattresses, Burger King again.
Wow,
Cinema.
is that a Jack in the Box?
Not
Two
yet.
tacos, $1.49. Good Lord. Be cheap out there.
There's the cemetery.
And that's, oh, look at that.
Shop in
So what-
Broccoli.
What time is he at this place, at this area? What time was it? 4:30 or?
He was at this place. Let's see.
You could bury something in that cemetery, you know.
Oh, he went to Lewiston. Was at 12. Where was he? Where are we in Lewiston, right? Okay.
Yeah, this
Yeah, he went to Lewiston.
In the afternoon, right? Of the next day, or
Yeah,
the
let me
afternoon
see.
of that day.
Let's see.
But he was close to Lewiston when he went to Genesee and did that trip to,
Yeah,
What
he
was
went
it?
to Lewiston. Wow, I
For the
hate the
garden.
way they say.
1 o'clock. I think it was 1
November
o'clock he went.
13th. Lack of reporting from 2:47 to 4:48 a.m. That's the night before. Okay, so then when did he go to Lewiston? Yeah, Lewiston. Where the heck are you,
I think it was
Lewiston?
12:46 p.m. and then he.
I
'cause he
thought
went
at
into the
1:04 he went to Albertsons, right?
Albertsons,
And then
yeah.
after Albertsons, come on, what? So
Nothing.
stupid. Wish they had this arranged better.
Yeah,
Some headings would be helpful. A timeline.
yeah.
I think that's when it just says that he just doesn't say that he went home, but then it talks about him going out to the what was the name of that out by the wilderness area at 5:30.
Hold on one second. I'm going to see if I can.
I can't even remember the stupid names of these places.
All right, let's see. November 13th. November 17th. That was your timeline is crap. Okay, let's see.
Find it yet?
December 13th. December 13th.
It's right after the thing about Albertsons, about him going to Albertsons.
Yeah, I
and then
can't.
it's
Let me see
about-
here. I'm trying it. 417, 420. Do they? 522. They stopped at that one. I thought they were going to put that on. They didn't do it. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm going to pull my hair out of my head. Okay.
Nearby.
Oh my gosh.
I'm the same way. Let's see.
It's driving me insane because I keep going through this.
I swear I'm going to rewrite this in an order that makes better sense or something. For being only 19 pages, it is sure hard to find things.
Because it's like not in any. He keeps skipping back
Odd.
and forth in the story and. 912. Okay, there's that 912. Now after that should be the freaking Albertsons.
Okay.
Where the hell is it?
Is it in Blaine?
And he skips. That's what I can't understand. He skips from where it should be Albertsons when he shows about the 9 o'clock trip in the morning. It should show the Albertsons trip after that, but it doesn't. And here he is. Okay, Kate's cup of coffee. Okay.
Okay, where is it?
So, Clarkston, Washington. Let's see, he does that. Where's the...
What page number is that?
Didn't he go to Lewiston?
I thought it was, yeah. It's like Lewis and Clark or something. I think it's named for Lewis and
17, on
Clark.
page 17.
Oh, for God's sakes, I was on page 7.
But now I can't find where he went to Lewiston. Now I'm seeing Clarkston. Oh, here's Lewiston on page 16. He traveled from Pullman to Lewiston via 195 at approximately 12:36. The phone utilized cell towers that would provide Kate's cup of coffee. Then he went to Clarkston, Washington. And then at approximately 12:46, he was at Bridge Street in Clarkston, Washington, went to the Albertsons, got out 12:49. He left Albertsons at 1:04, and then they don't tell you where he went from
Nope.
1:04 to 5:36, where his phone turns off again. So where the hell did he go? They don't tell you.
Yeah, did he stay in that area?
Yeah, did he stay in that area? He was tracked around that area, and then he turned the phone off at 5:32. What the hell was he doing?
Because that's when he goes on that 2-hour journey, right? To
Yeah, 3-hour journey, isn't it? 5:30 to 8:30.
Yeah, well, yeah, his phone's off for 3 hours, but I think when we looked at it on the map, I think it was like a 2-hour. It took 2 hours to travel. Where does it say he traveled? Let's see. Additional analysis.
So forget
Utilize
Lewiston.
cellular resources. Oh, Johnson, Idaho. There we go.
He
That's
was in
the-
Clarkson.
So assuming, like, let's assume that he didn't go home. Let's say he stayed in that Clarkston area for what? How many hours? From
Where's Clarkston now? Let's see. Clarkston.
so if he leaves Albertsons at 1 o'clock or so, he would have sat around for, I don't know why he would sit around until 5:30.
Do they open, what time does Albertsons open? Maybe he just got there at that parking lot.
Yeah, it was 5:30 p.m. So I'm thinking, but that's when his phone came back on. So he could have literally, God only knows what he was doing.
Oh, yeah.
So his phone comes on at 5:32, and that's when we know that he's in Johnson. Additional analysis of the record of that phone indicates that between 5:32 and 5:36, that his phone utilized cellular resources in Johnson, Idaho. Okay, so at 5:30, he's in Johnson, Idaho. So then that's a 2-hour trip, I think, from Clarkston. Is that right?
Johnson.
What a 2, 2 to 3.
Where are all our men that are supposed to be really great at maps?
I know, right? Jeez Louise.
Gosh.
Google's not even good at these maps. I guess these. Let's see here. Let me see.
I think
Clark.
they're in bed.
Clark. I have to keep learning how to spell this. Clarkston. Clarkston.
Who was Linda? Linda loves to look at an atlas. Remember that? Oh, she loves to take trips like that.
Yes. Hi, Gino, Janetti. Hi, Danielle, Faith, and Love.
I can't even find the chat.
All right.
Hi, Paladin. What was he up to? Who knows, Paladin?
All right. So it was.
Gino Giannetti. How you doing? He could possibly be washing. Yeah, change of clothes, disposing of knife. Right.
Clarkston. Clarkston.
You're getting
Oh,
your beauty
sorry,
rest?
Kevin.
Washington.
I just wanted to make sure they heard me. I'm going to mute.
Hi, Misbehave. Hi, everybody. Who's really good at maps? Anybody in here?
All right. So I just put. Oh, Jesus.
What do you want to know?
Clarkston, Washington to Johnson, Idaho.
Oh, where's the key?
Not Amy Johnson. Johnson. Idaho, or is it damn Washington? Ugh.
Oh my gosh.
I don't see it.
These multiple states. Is it Johnson, Idaho, or Washington?
Twin Falls, Idaho Falls. Where is it? Great Falls. Medicine Hat.
Alright. Johnson, Idaho.
Red Deer. I don't know where I am now. I'm totally out of here.
Johnson, Idaho.
Idaho. Coeur d'Alene. Okay, so we got to be around here somewhere.
You went too far.
Palouse. Here's Palouse. Here's Moscow. Pullman. Where is
That's
Clarkston?
Canada.
Where's Clarkston?
Okay, so Clarkston, Washington to Johnson, Idaho.
Right there, see Coeur d'Alene, yeah.
Where's
Is-
How far is where is Clarkston in regard to Lewiston?
It's to the west.
Okay, is it by Dayton? Is it by La Crosse, Colfax, Palouse?
It's Clarkston, Washington. I don't know if you're doing Idaho. It's
Oh.
right across the border.
That's what the problem is.
Yeah, it's the states flipping back and forth. So Clarkston, Washington to Johnson, Idaho.
But
Is
where
that-
where's Clarkston by? Just give me a town by Clarkston.
So it's Clarkston, and it is, if you look for you want like a,
Just
it is the only city that it's around.
any other city.
There's a, let's see, Lewiston, but that isn't good.
I see Lewiston, but
There's a Costco in Clarkston, if you want to search for that. It's
You're
right by the
northern.
highway.
now I've lost Lewiston. I've lost it all. Oh my gosh.
Well, there's Walla Walla. You were in that same spot at one point.
I'm looking for the nearest next city. Let's see. There's not a lot. You can look for this city called Asotin, Asotin.
No, I
It's in
found it.
Washington. You got it? Okay.
Asotin, yes. There's
So if you
Lewiston.
find Asotin,
Yeah.
take that road. There's a main road. It looks like it's going up the high. It travels with the
129?
river.
Is it 129?
179. Yeah, 129 it must be. Take that north.
Okay.
until
Clarkston, I found it. Heights.
You got
Line-
it? Okay.
So it's Clarkston Heights? Clarkston, up here. Ooh,
Yeah,
look,
Clarkston
look,
Heights
look,
is
look,
the
look,
name
look
of the
what's
school.
there. Water.
Lots of
The
water.
riverboat.
Oh, yeah.
The riverboat queen.
So he's in Clarkston, that's the Albertson stuff. Then he drives to Johnson, spelled Johnsson, Idaho. And this is when his phone comes
What's
back
going
on
here?
at 5:30. So at 1 o'clock he's leaving Albertsons, and at 5:30 his phone pings in Johnson, Idaho, which is almost a 2-hour drive away from Clarkston. And this is quite a frickin' drive, let me tell you. This is no
What's he doing? This is the afternoon after.
the night, yeah. After you
Yeah.
sleep and
He's driving around in here. There's a Snake River around there. Snake River is all here on Motel 6 up here in Clarkston. There's a River Tree Inn. And there's a Best Western. There's a Beachview Park. Clarkston. What else?
There's kind of 2 hours lost because if you think about timeline, he's in Clarkston at Albertsons at 1. Next time his phone pings, it's 5:30 in Johnson, which is 2 hours away. So if he left right from Albertson and went to Johnson, he would be in Johnson at, let's see,
What is
Right,
that? They've got Hell's Gate State Park. That's
Like
on.
three-
That's on there. That's on Route 129, right on there. Hell's Gate State Park. And you know what happens in state parks?
oh yeah. Yeah.
Not good stuff usually. Hell's
But this
Gate
is in the
State
afternoon,
Park.
so this is after he did go home.
No,
Yeah,
this is.
you know.
This is at night though.
One o-
Yeah.
This is at.
1
No,
o'clock,
isn't
right?
this?
1 p.m.
Yeah, but
AM.
then. Okay.
No, p.m. This is after he went home and then left.
Then he went to
Yeah.
Albertsons.
Yeah, this is the Albertson trip. We were talking before about what he did right after he left the house, and he kind of got close to this area. He didn't go as far down as Lewiston and Clarkston. He went to Genesee. And that's when we found out he went to that city that they got the state wrong. What was the name of that city? Uniontown? Uniontown.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's in the general direction. But
There's a
little bit
marina
north.
here, Hell's Gate Marina.
Yeah, but so the Albertson trip is he's gone home, maybe slept, I don't know, ate something. Then at 9 a.m. went back to Moscow, went back home, and then at 1 o'clock in the afternoon he's shopping at the grocery store. He's quite active. And then at 5:30 he's 2 hours away in the middle of nowhere in Johnson, Idaho.
Who was it that had their photos taken at Hell's Gate? Was that Letitia Stout or someone else?
No, you're thinking of Garden of the Gods.
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay, sorry.
Right.
McCall, didn't somebody go down to McCall? Last day. I just realized what happens in state parks. Weeping Willow State Parks. That's where a lot of crime happens. A lot of people get killed in state parks. They get dumped in state parks. Look it up. If you're iffy about a relationship and your significant other wants to take you to a state park, just be on your toes.
They might push you off a cliff or
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if it's totally out of character for them to want to visit a state, if you go, wow, that's so great, we're doing new things. You never want to go to state parks. Then be really iffy about it.
Okay.
Dave, you have to wake your husband up. Okay.
And he wasn't in Albertsons all that long. I mean, he was only in there for a few
No, he
minutes.
was in Albertson so quick. I bet you he
Like,
went
what
to
on
get
earth?
maybe he went to
What did
get
he do?
bandages or something, like some kind of
Exactly.
sling or
He had
something.
Yeah, he ran in there for something real, particular. He wasn't grocery shopping.
Yeah, I would like to. I can't wait to see that camera thing. Kohlberger and Albertsons.
I didn't even think it was possible to even go into a store that fast. I guess if you just know, hey, I'm gonna run in there and just get, like you said, Band-Aids. Maybe. I don't know. Every time I go into a store, I'm in there for at least like at least 30 minutes. That would be fast for a trip to a store like that. For me.
Okay, so when the Clarkston Albertson shows Kohlberger exiting the vehicle at 12:49 in Albertsons. You think somebody would have come forward from Albertsons? Oh, I remember him there. He bought this. And then checked out at 1:04. Detective of Clarkston Police Department said he was asked to obtain some surveillance footage by, however, the FBI handled the Albertsons. We were just asked to video. There is speculation Kohlberger may have visited the valley to dispose of evidence in the Clearwater or Snake Rivers. That's what I said, the Snake River. Yeah, and the Clearwater.
That's not in the affidavit, right? Or did I
No,
miss
no,
that?
this is, somebody else is saying what I said.
Yeah.
And possibly
exactly.
purchase cleaning supplies, but that has not been confirmed. Investigators have said the weapon used in the murders has not been located. The time when Kohlberger was allegedly in Clarkston is when police were starting their initial investigation of the murder scene at King Road. The initial 911 call was placed around noon. The phone allegedly tied the suspect was reportedly turned off during the time the force. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so yeah, that's what I'm thinking, that Snake River. Maybe he went to get cleaning supplies. Interesting.
And there's got to be a grocery store closer than the Clarkston Albertsons, right? I mean, it's not.
Oh, well, there's got to be one in Moscow.
Right.
Yeah.
In Pullman, right? I mean, there's
Pullman.
there's it, so it's interesting. Why do you drive to Clarkston to go to a grocery store to buy one thing?
Do you know Albertsons sells liquid death sparkling mountain water? No thirst is safe from liquid death. What a horrible name.
Boy,
Liquid death.
And you would think also, if he was thinking about doing this, if he was preparing, he probably would have purchased, gauze or Band-Aids in advance. I don't think.
Yeah,
I mean,
I know.
or he might even have them on hand. I don't know why he would, unless he needed one of those really big ones. But goodness, you wouldn't run into a store with an Albertsons that has massive cameras. I mean, you might go into some,
Maybe he thought because it was far away, the police wouldn't check it out.
Yeah, perhaps, right. That's true.
Or that the tape would be ruined by the time they discovered him.
Maybe. But I mean, he's got to know that they'll have video of him checking out, especially if you use one of those, the self-checkouts. I mean, they usually, if you're buying one thing, you might self-checkout. I mean, there's cameras all over the place in those stores. So he's got to know he's on camera. He didn't do himself many favors, though, doing all this traveling on that same day. I mean, just looking at it, it's maniacal, right? I mean, it's like you didn't sleep. You're in Moscow in the middle of the night at 4 a.m. Then you're back at 9 a.m. Then you're at Albertsons at 1 shopping for one thing. Then you're driving 3 hours or 2 hours. I mean, it looks insane. So he's not doing himself any favors doing all these odd, drives. It would have looked better if he just went home and stayed put.
And I was thinking about how he disposed of the trash with the gloves on, the surgical gloves. That's why I'm thinking with the sheath for the knife. Now they said they found one DNA just on that snap. Mm-hmm. Maybe he didn't panic too much because he did use gloves, but maybe that print was from before and he didn't realize it.
Yeah, maybe he thought he scrubbed it, And he
Yes, and he wore gloves, because if he was careful enough to put gloves on after,
That's true.
you know, I'm thinking maybe that was an accidental, it just on that snap. Because why wouldn't there be more than just on the snap anyway of his, right?
Right, because he wouldn't. How would he have carried? Well, if he had gloves on, right? You know, he could have carried it full-handed and not left prints. So yeah, maybe that is true. Maybe he wasn't so panicked about leaving the sheath then because
Yeah,
Pullman to
well,
Clarkston is a 42-minute drive.
where I cleaned it and I wore gloves. So I
Right.
did leave it. I didn't want to, but I'm not gonna freak out about it
You
too much.
sell
Right.
that water, her liquid death, yeah? It's good water, liquid death? Okay, we don't have that over here in New York. I believe
Because
he pitched the knife in the dumpster near the crime scene. Oh, I don't think so. No, the 3-point turn was before he killed them. Before he allegedly killed them. I'm sure he didn't drive with it speeding. No. The 3-point turn, nobody robs our trucks, was right before he killed them. He did the 3-point turn, went back towards the house, got out of the car, bing, 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 420 scene, speeding away. He didn't do any 3-point turns on the way out. He high rate of speed out of there.
Yeah, I think the 3-point turn was at 352 or some. It was a little bit before 4, because I was thinking he must have, you know,
Yeah, and I don't think he would ever dispose of the murder weapon near
No.
a dumpster right by the house.
Well, especially with him leaving the house at 4:20.
And he left at a high
driving-
rate of speed. He didn't stop at
Yeah.
any dumpsters. He was out of there.
And then he drove down to those rural areas, down to that near Genesee,
Yeah.
over to Uniontown. You know, if he was going to dispose of it, it could be in a dumpster in some random.
I don't think he would put the knife in a dumpster. I think he'd dispose of it in a body of water.
Yeah. And he might not want to bury it though, because that could get picked up on metal detection. So maybe he probably chucked it in the water. It's harder to find there, I would imagine.
Pullman to Lewiston's 39-minute drive.
Although he could be like Israel Keys, the serial killer, who he kind of did the opposite. He went to these rural areas and he buried in, like, I'll say like a coffee can, but something like that. He buried supplies that he would need later,
Mm-hmm.
and he would go and he would
Go
to
back
this
and retrieve it, yeah.
Yeah, he could have literally done something like that, where he literally was like, okay, I
But if this
You
should
know.
tell you anything, like people should be like, dang, you can't commit crime anymore. You're done.
yeah.
You're done. There's too much stuff, guys. There's too much DNA, too many cameras, too many GPS systems on the cars. It's done. You think that would be like a really big deterrent? You're going to get caught. Okay. Oh, remember
Yeah, I
when
mean,
we
you-
used to
you
be able
would-
to murder people and nobody found out? Yeah, that doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah, you literally have to be in some real rural location and like drive some old vehicle or a horse and not have a
Because
phone.
even if you
and-
take somebody to a national park, they're going to find you that you went to the national park. Somebody's going to see it's done. You can't do it
and
anymore.
especially too, like all these license plate readers, you have just no idea how much surveillance is happening. We went on a trip last year, and I got on a toll road, and it didn't have a place to put your toll money. It just said, you're on a toll road, and I'm like, well, how do I pay this? Well, I get home, and like a month later, I get a bill. It read my license plate, and it knew my address, and it sent me, it was like,
Oh,
you
yeah,
owe $8.
yeah, for tolls by mail.
So it's
yeah.
like, I was like, holy crap, like, how did they, I mean, and it was like a high quality photo.
Oh, yeah.
you know,
if you have an easy pass, it's going to track you with that easy pass.
Yep. So it's incredible how much,
Yeah, all the
detection
gas
of-
stations have cameras. There's cameras everywhere, guys. You're going to get tracked. You're not going to get away with it.
I forget, how did Israel Keys get caught? We looked that up.
Didn't he kill himself?
He went into prison. I think he killed himself in prison.
Oh, all
He
right.
got caught somehow.
It says that, he was using Koenig's credit card at an ATM, which tipped off authorities to the car he was driving. And then a state trooper on March 13th noticed a vehicle matching the description of the one Keyes was driving in a Texas hotel parking lot, and then he got pulled over.
So it was technology. It was him using a debit card or whatever, right? Debit
A
card, you said?
credit card at an
Uh-huh.
ATM, and that tipped him off to the type of vehicle he was driving and his
Mhm.
whereabouts. So
Yeah.
that's how Israel Keyes, the beginning of his downfall, so to speak.
Yeah, yeah. Because he was really quite, for him to travel to, and when he would travel to these locations, he would not take a direct route. He might take a flight from Seattle to South Bend, Indiana, and then rent a car and drive to Kentucky, and then take the train. Like, he would circumvent any logical routing.
But what
He would
year
go to
was
the-
that? What year was that he did this?
He was it was like 2000. Let's see, what was he active? 2010, 11, somewhere in there, I think. Let's see.
So many people have Ring cameras. They're done.
It's always the dumbest ways they get caught too. It's like they go to Walmart and buy like, a shovel and
Yeah, I mean,
a
if they
tarp.
really did study things, they would know. It's like, I don't know.
Gosh, he was from Washington too. What is it about this Washington?
Maybe
That
there's
was-
just not a lot to do out there or something.
Golly. I always thought he didn't get enough attention for as much, not that I'm saying like he deserves it, but like I'm saying like for his crazy, and you would think that they would be making documentaries about this guy. I don't think I've ever seen anything too much on here. I know I've mentioned him before and people have not even known who he was, and I'm like, oh goodness, he's a...
So it says that he had at least 11 victims
That's a
between
lot.
1996 and 2012.
96, his first one?
This is what this is saying here.
Yeah.
96 and 2012. At least 11 victims.
You hope it'll be then in March, Stout trial, Jeanette. It's probably going to be postponed 1,000 times.
Hmm.
But if it is true, then we'll have that one in April, Vallow, but I doubt it. I doubt
Oh my
it.
God, Israel Keyes drew 11 skulls in his own blood and put it under this little art thing and put it under his bed in his jail cell before he killed himself. And
For
it
11
represents
for
the
11 people that he
he
killed?
Wow, yeah,
Wow.
I did not know that. And that's,
Oh,
I know it sounds crazy, but I keep thinking he's a singer or something, because Alicia Keys.
yeah.
hmm. It's got me thinking now about that sheath, that knife cover.
Jeanette, the date is set, but they set the date. They set the date how many times for Vallow already?
Yeah.
Dates mean nothing here, Jeanette. They cancel them, they continue them. They reschedule. Hey, Rambling Recruiter, how are you? No, it's not cottage cheese. You know what it is? It's Chobani yogurt, lemon meringue pie.
Yum. Do you know where Lake Falls Reservoir is in Adirondack Park, Parrishville, New York?
Where?
Parrishville?
I've never heard of that.
That's where one of Israel Key's his kill kit or his kill cache is what he would call it. He had one buried there, and he told the FBI it, and they went and dug it up, and it's got just
Really, a kill kit in Parrishville? It's called.
Yeah, yeah. I'm looking at this picture right
Hope
here.
it's not near me.
That's why when I saw New York, I was like, I wonder if that's near you.
What big town was it? Like towards Buffalo?
I'm looking at a picture of the kill kit, and it just said found in it's in the Adirondacks.
Oh, that's the
Adirondack Park.
other mountain region.
Yeah, they dug one up there.
I'm in the Jewish Alps.
You're in what?
They call it the Jewish Alps over here.
The Catskills.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's known as the Jewish Alps or the Borscht Belt.
My grandmother worked at the one of the big. My great grandmother. She was a chambermaid at and I'm trying to think of the name of the
Concord or Grossinger's.
No, it was a big hotel where like the
Yeah, those two are the Nevele,
Say them again.
the Nevele, the Concord, Grossinger's.
Concord. It was the Concord. She was a chambermaid at the Concord.
Yep.
Yeah. She said she had the time of her life.
I still remember
She got
at the Nevele. There's so much to do. They had a commercial. It was so crazy. When we were kids, we were like, "Oh my gosh, that's for the Nevele," and it was this like state of the art hotel at the time, and it looked almost like the Tower of Pisa. It was built like that, and I remember going back to it about my girlfriend and I with the entertainment company we were with. Not my girlfriend, my coworker. We had to go do an event, and they were revamping it, and I'm like. They said they were, renovating everything. I'm like, this is the Nevele, wow. But yeah, the Concord, I think they tore that down, but they built a big resort and casino.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did they revitalize I know it fell into disrepair, but
Yeah, they knocked down none of the original ones. Like Grossinger's was beautiful, but I don't think they did anything with that. You had the Pines, so many of them. But they called it the Jewish Alps because Barry Manilow got his start up here, a lot of the comedians, and they were all Jewish, and they would refer to it as the Jewish Alps.
well, in like the movie Dirty Dancing, that's like
It was
kind of-
supposed
that's
that they were trying to do that because that would be up here, but they
Yeah.
filmed it actually somewhere else in where was it, West Virginia or something?
Yeah, that where they would do those like camp things, right? Where they would
Mm-hmm.
people would stay up there for like 6 to 8 weeks,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Like during the
Mhm.
summer
Yep.
and all that. Yeah.
Yep. So he was in the Adirondacks. Good.
Yeah, it says here when he would dig and bury these kill caches or kill kits, and then years later when he would get the urge to kill, he would go and dig it up and use whatever he put in there. I mean, that takes some serious pre-planning.
Yeah.
Well, he killed a bunch of. I mean, he killed a 12-year-old girl and like a couple that was like in their 70s. I mean, he was all over the place with.
Oh yeah, it says from the Oh gosh. He killed Samantha Koenig, 18 years old. She was abducted on February 1st. The reward
the
for her
coffee
reached
place, I think.
$70,000. The Common Grounds espresso stand in Anchorage, Alaska. That's where she was from. The barrister, Samantha Koenig, disappeared February 1st, 2012. Investigators were monitoring her debit card and were alerted after an ATM withdrawal was made from her debit card in Shepherd, Texas. Israel Keys is seen here on surveillance video with a hood and a face covering. And then he was questioned. He was questioned about her. Yeah. And then Keys' home in Alaska. And then they recovered her at a lake in Alaska.
It looks like a lake, right? Like
Mhm.
like a frozen. Was she in the water?
Yeah, she was in the water.
Right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Weird.
And then Bill and Lorraine Courier.
Yeah, they were like a couple, and they're middle age.
Yeah, and then the kill cache was recovered. That's in Parrishville, New York, right? He would bury
Yeah,
caches with
you've
weapons,
seen it, the orange
tools,
bucket. Yeah.
gun, yeah. And Home Depot, they look like Home Depot buckets.
I mean,
Yeah.
look what he's got in there. Was that a video camera? Zooming in.
I think it's a gun site, maybe.
Oh, is that what it is? Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, let's see.
He was kind of into torture, though, too. Like, he would, pliers, things
Yeah,
like
and
that.
then he killed that little girl, Julie Harris, 12 years old, from
The little girl,
Colville,
yeah.
Washington. So he was all over the place.
Yeah,
That's
Alaska,
1996.
Washington,
Okay,
Vermont.
so the last one was the one that was the last one, right? He got caught with that woman in Alaska,
Yeah.
and then they found her. She was a double amputee whose prosthetic feet were found in the Colville River a month after her disappearance. Why would he do that? It says Julie's murder is still unsolved. But they just think he did?
I think, yeah. I don't think he confessed to that one.
Deborah Feldman is the fourth victim. Feldman was last seen alive in 2009 in her residence in Hackensack, New Jersey. At the time, she was 49.
I mean, if you look at, these people have nothing in common with each other either. How would you link Deborah Feldman with, Julie, the little 12-year-old and the 18-year-old? I mean, they don't, it doesn't like he seems like he has a type other than random.
Bill and Lorraine Courier were chosen at random by Israel Keys and abducted from their Essex, Vermont house June 8th, 2011. They were taken to a farmhouse and murdered. Wow.
It looks like 48 Hours did a special, 48
Yeah,
Hours on
it does. Yeah, it looks like that. Mm-hmm.
Peter Van Sant.
Yeah, I see him. Peter Van Sant. Mm-hmm.
He left a suicide note.
He owned 10 acres in Constable, New York, in North Country.
Did he really?
Mm-hmm.
See, he was all over the place. Like, he would be the ultimate. To me, he was probably.
He was called a methodical serial killer.
Yeah, I think he was probably the hardest. If he didn't screw up with that debit card, how would you ever, put these people? How would you ever link these together? I mean, look at the span of time we're talking about too. We're talking about 96 to 2012. Random people.
He was
That's
born
crazy.
in Cove, Utah. He was the second oldest of 10 children.
Yeah, it was like that thing I was reading that serial killers that get away with it for so long, part of the reason is because their victims are random. And so they can't connect them to any, close inner circle people because they, usually they kind of can, but there's just no connection with this person.
No, he said, and they
so-
said he didn't kill people because he was crazy. He didn't kill them because his deity told him to do it or he had a bad childhood. He killed them because he got an immense amount of enjoyment out of it, much like an addict gets an immense amount of enjoyment out of drugs.
Killed for the thrill.
Did you see too, Israel Keys? It looks like he was in some sort of military program. Did you see that picture of him? It looks like maybe 1999 in the Air Assault School. He's in like fatigues, U.S. Army.
Oh.
Yeah, he was in the U.S. Army from July 98 through July of 2001. So again, that's that connection to, law enforcement and military dominance, control. I wish I could read a suicide note. It's really hard to. Global. Where will you go? Little worm. Back.
Crazy. But my goodness, we better go.
I'd say it's too bad he killed himself, because I would have loved to have seen him I would have loved to have learned, what
Yeah.
the trial would have.
What's today? Today's Friday.
Come out.
Today's Friday. Interesting. Interesting. Where have you been, Rambling Recruiter? Haven't seen you in a long time.
Oh, wow.
Hi, Barbara. Could we get some more likes up? You need Video Reel to tell you to put the likes in. When Video Reel tells you, you guys all put the likes in for Video Reel. They have made a statement that they saw the autopsy was transmitted. I don't know. You didn't see what happened last time I was here? I didn't see it, Rambling Recruiter. What happened? Do tell. I don't often see the chat because I'm normally searching for stuff. Can we get at least, I think we can get a lot more likes on the video, don't you think so? I'll tell Video Reel you did really good.
More likes, more likes.
Have you guys talked about the 6-year-old? Yes, we talked about that earlier. That's incredible, huh? The 6-year-old that shot his, that's incredible. Just horrible, Barbara. Horrible. It's ridiculous. I hope she's okay because
Oh, I remember that, Rambling Recruiter.
Yeah.
oh really? Oh, you don't have to
Yeah.
worry. You don't have to worry. Just because you were showing off a little Spanish skill? Oh, okay. Don't worry about it, Rambling. It's all good.
Better than good.
Oh, no worries. We don't have any overly aggressive mods. Hi, Anshiver. You're welcome. You're welcome. How about doing the bump with that like button, friends? Yeah. Let's see if we can get your DNA off the button. Can you just press it?
So what do you think of that theory? That he just accidentally touched that snap before and thought, and then wore gloves, and then, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
Could be.
Yeah, because that would make him maybe not so panicked about leaving it behind.
Uh-huh.
Not that he wanted to, but, you know.
Yeah. Like I said, if he was so careful to wear gloves after, you think it would have occurred to him before to do that, to wear gloves.
yeah.
And they specifically stated a singular DNA on the snap,
Mm-hmm.
which seems like, how would you just touch the snap only?
Right, if you were carrying
How-
it, you're not carrying it by
Yeah.
the snap, you know?
Yeah. Just an idea, but I couldn't figure that out before. Like, how come just on the snap? But then after seeing that he used surgical gloves for the trash, after I thought, yeah,
Scooter, are you there? Did she leave? She did.
she left the
I needed
panel.
someone to look at something that's in that group. Are you in that group, Nikki?
Which one, on Facebook?
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't go on Facebook hardly ever.
Okay. Sharon, are you in that group?
What group?
The one on Facebook?
For what?
The Idaho something group, the one that Roger.
Elle, where's Elle? She's sleeping too. Where's Nicole? Is Nicole sleeping also?
She's asleep.
No. They're saying that there's some camera leaked on. I don't believe it because this is so
I don't
stupid. It's stupid. I see it now. The cop car is there. So they say the camera leaked. It's not from the night. I'll forget it. Don't even worry about it. The cop car is there.
You know, I did read something that somebody in Reddit was talking about. They were saying that about the camera that caught the whimpering and the crying and the loud thud.
Yeah.
And you know how we were saying, God, it's like, you know, only at 417 did anybody make noise. And what the person was speculating was that, you know, if it was a Ring doorbell type camera, you know, they only activate if there's motion. So they were saying like maybe, you know, like a cat ran by, or, you know, something had to maybe like trigger it. So there could have been noise, but it may not have caught it because unless there's motion, I guess it doesn't record. Is that right? I don't have a Ring. camera?
I'm not sure. My son has them all over.
I know my daughter has one, and
The
it always
ones we
picks up,
have,
like,
I'm
you know,
thinking, are they? Some of them are
motion.
just on
Sensor.
all the time, just by being on, and then there's. Let me see. Oh no, that's my son.
I doubt they're recording all of the time, because that would just be an enormous amount of.
Oh my gosh! Listen to this one. You know how they did the Chris Watts Tinder thing? They're doing the Tinder on there. Kept trying to touch me. Girl who went on Tinder date with Bryan reveals he told her she had good birthing hips. Come on.
The gay lover will be next, right?
Literally anyone could have made this up, they said. Yeah, all right. This is crazy. Oh my gosh. They're just going. Oh my gosh.
You know, and the thing is that there's so many interesting things to examine about this.
And they don't realize that's a crime either. You know, they're going to come forward
Yeah.
and tell this stuff, that's a crime. It's a.
I mean, there's so much more interesting things that you could do other than make up like a fake dating profile that, you know, or whatever.
Oh my gosh, some of these people don't know anything. Listen to this person put in here. Law enforcement and any other department do not and will not transport evidence that like this is covered or not. She's talking about the mattresses. She goes, in my opinion, I think he's pled guilty. And because of the gag order, they are now taking things out of the house to make it look like they're taking it for evidence so that when they clean it up, so when the cleanup team turns up this weekend or the next week, we will think, okay, they took evidence. I repeat, in no first world country is evidence transported in this way. Absolutely not. If this is evidence, why is the dog crate just thrown on top with no evidence bag? Only bloodied items should be covered. Oh, what the heck? These people.
That was a rant.
I guess somebody pretended to be Xana's cousin in there. These people are just nuts. Somebody thought Dylan was the defense attorney at the house. They said that was Dylan. Oh my gosh. No,
They
there's
thought
only
what?
how big of an age difference? That woman's like 57 years old. The lawyer, and Dylan is what, 21? Yeah, okay. I don't know, my head hurts from reading these things. All right, I think I'm going to end the live. We'll be in the Zoom if anybody wants to come in the Zoom. And we'll see you tomorrow. There'll be more time. But thank you for coming in, guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for staying with us through the gathering and what does Kevin call it? Gathering and what are we doing? I don't know. But anyway, we'll see you later. Thank you. Please give it a thumbs up on the way out and share it around if you liked it. And we'll see you tomorrow. And you can always come on panel and talk to us and ask us questions or work things out with us. All right, guys. Love you guys. God bless. Prayers for all that need, and we'll see you tomorrow.
See you later.